right now, I guess. It's a sleepy surprise. You guys gonna have to listen to a little bit of crying. Very sleepy surprise. You can't even see her. It's too dark. Hang on. This is Zoe. She is very tired. We've had her for 3 days, so that's why my streaming's been on and off. She just got her vaccinations today. Her first round, the second round's in February. She's been waking me up every night because we're crate training her off the bat, so I'm not getting that much sleep. Am I? And she wants to go back to sleep, so it's Zoe with a Y and a Z. She's already asleep. So she's sleeping right here. So if you see a little head pop up, that's her. And I learned that her head pops up, she just wants a quick pet, and then she goes back to sleep. So if it looks like I'm just pushing her off the like the edge, like she puts her little two paws right here, and then I pet her. So if it looks like I'm pushing her down, that's her just falling over. She is Black Lab and German Shepherd. So we rehomed her from a couple that couldn't. They were moving out of state, and they didn't know their puppy was pregnant, so they delayed their move for a few weeks. So it was a Craigslist rehoming. She had her vet appointment. She's 10 pounds right now. She got her shots. She hasn't reacted badly to any of them or anything. This is my first dog on my own? No, we have two. So we got Coda when he was a puppy as well. So it's been a few days of watching her, making sure she doesn't bite through any cords and pee everywhere, taking her out whenever she's sleeping and stuff like that, waking her up close to the night so we can crate train her at night. But she's been it's not bad. So mostly just got to keep an eye on her. It's very easy. Her poops are just, she eats, 10 minutes after we take her outside, she poops outside. She still doesn't understand. We got puppy pads. What we learned from the first one is we got a fucking tarp, like a huge ass tarp, and a playpen. So we just put her in the playpen, and there's just a tarp there. So if she has any accidents in there, it's really easy to clean up. You can just bring the tarp outside and hose it down, or just wipe it up. But she's been playing with Coda, and Coda is really good. Like, Coda is 50-ish, 60-ish pounds. She's 10, and she's the feisty one. He just jumps at him, bites him, jumps at his face, and he's just standing there. Very good. Well, Coda's more brown. She is pitch black. She is pitch black. She's pretty scruffy. She's pretty loud. Like, not like she is loud. She's just very talkative. What was the point? Would you guys want me to watch the VODs of First Strike NA or First Strike EU? Bring Coda in? No, it's her sleep time. She's sleeping. Coda's upstairs. He needs his own time too. He does bark. It's not much of a bark though. What about FaZe versus Sentinels on Bind? Is that a good start place? And we just run through the day 2 quarterfinals. We can watch them map by map. This is a good VOD to watch. Would you guys want me to play? You want me to play ranked first and then watch videos, or watch videos now and then play ranked later? It's gonna be a shorter stream today though, because tomorrow morning we have the WoW reset and I'm raiding. I have raids scheduled for every single day next week, and I'll stream them. But I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stream some Valorant in the morning, and then raid later in the night. Not this one. Okay.
Right off of the bat, Sean, we've got the buy T1 now.
So let's watch 100 Thieves T1.
So, Haven, this could be a little sketchy.
Why is their team name 100?
Because all of their games come down to the wire. They're 1-3 in their last 4. That doesn't sound too great. But I mean,
I'll stream the raids if people want to watch them.
Teams, right? They're not losing to average Joes or anything like that. They're losing to Sentinels, Dignitas, Immortals, and they defeated Genji. So
I catch my game on monitor on my stream program. My capture card.
This is definitely going to be a close game. I think that.
Okay, so I'm just gonna go by the basics and round by round it. Their comps are obviously very similar. One team opted for Cypher, the other team opted for Killjoy. One team opted for Phoenix, the other team opted for Breach. And I actually think overall a Breach is a better pick, but player skill, like individual player skill, shines more on Phoenix because you can make plays on your own in the moment. But as teams get better and better, I think scaling with Breach is going to be like key.
Impact player to watch is probably going to be AZK on Breach. If he has a good game, he looks out of his comfort zone sometimes. If he has a good game on Breach, I could see T1 stealing this map, and that would be huge for the series.
Yeah, I think we're going to be going straight into this one, so there's not too much time left for theory crafting. This will be map 1 between 100 Thieves and T1 here in their quarterfinal matchup. For me, I feel like 100 Thieves could go all the way, but T1, they're also my dark horse of this tournament, so I feel like they also have the capacity to make it all the way to the grand finals of this tournament here for First Strike North America. Right off of the bat, Sean, we've got the buy time, and we're already seeing some of these players set up.
Yeah, we're seeing some Killjoy stuff on C. A slight stack towards the C site with both the Omen and the Jet. I think both teams are going to feel each other out at the start of this round based on what I'm seeing at the spread. It could be an early B hit, though.
So early presence in mid-outside garage towards the grass position. You see Asuna looking to get in there with the Frenzy. And that curveball as well, clears some space. They've got the dark cover there on the C window as well. Quite typical stuff, clearing a lot. This is a lot of
it's a good molly.
Threat towards the
so you can't get countered off your flash, jump down.
It's actually going to be a B here. We can see most of the players now.
At least it reduces risk.
B side. Brax there for T1 at the back, just giving up.
Brax does this a lot, even when I stream T1. Brax likes playing back B and actually staying alive there for the retake, because just holding back side control means more to how they play the game. Like they play the map this way.
Able to take down Asuna. Steel tries to defend.
And Brax is always good for 3 when he's playing these spots. He's fucking insane.
Position back sight. We'll get some flanking here from Dicey. And it's all really on him. He can be annoying there, delay them. But we'll have to see if it's going to amount to too much. I think it was
they need to default the crosshair. You can't show the player crosshairs because it's so hard to see.
But it's really not going to work out ultimately. But pretty cool strat there, Sean.
Oh yeah, you guys hang on.
Create that threat
That's
towards
why.
that C site, maybe catch a rotation out of B as they walk into the B site.
Yeah, it was definitely a very cool tactic to take garage control, try to force that rotate out of B, like you said, and then get the plant in. I think actually the Jet, I think maybe Skadoodle blocked the shock dart.
I don't like planting on B if you don't have like fat control.
Diffuser. That was a pretty interesting note. They were trying to deny the defuse. Quick round for T1. And now we're right into the swing of things again.
Yeah, not too much investment. Some teams have been actually going for the force buy, and we did of course get that plants. even though they lost the round, so there is some additional money given. So that does make a potential force buy even stronger. But we'll see that 100 Thieves will opt to go for a save here, a couple ghosts, and they'll see what they can do with their utility. On the defense here, Sean, as far as T1 are concerned, what are we looking at in terms of keeping this round as safe as possible?
Well, what you saw from Spider right there says everything, right? He saw that smoke top C, he saw a little bit of presence coming towards him, and he immediately reeled out towards CT spawn. That tells me they're going retake C on these sketchy C pops. Although right now he moved to the back site because it's now cleared. Skadoodle prodding A for information. This is very well done early by T1 right now.
God, this hurts so stupid, man.
We're seeing T1 just happy to give up that plant. They don't mind too much as long as they don't lose too many players. They're really relying on that retake ability. And here goes the Sova drone. Lots of utilities to make that work. Brax with that initial position, looking for any swings from shorts. A very cheeky spot there from Dicey for the swing, but that won't amount to too much. And should be pretty good here, just taunting 100 Thieves there.
See how good they are just clearing what they need? That was a really good retake. Knowing they only have pistols, they were just taking it one step at a time.
They were happy to give up a spike plant, and that's exactly what happened.
That was absolutely gorgeous. You could see Skadoodle was the one playing in the A site. He only had a pistol, so even if he falls, it's fine. It's fine. But he's not giving up any guns. He's not giving up a rifle. He falls with, I believe it was a frenzy. They sent a drone in for the retake simultaneously.
The prod came from Skadoodle too with a pistol, which is really good. And now they got a really good bonus round with a Bulldog.
With the smokes on short and long.
Now we're into that full buy as we go to round 3. Obviously, a great start so far for T1, everything according to plan. We'll have to see what they aim to do here. So Skadoodle there on the jet, looking to peek from the short position. A huge swell of players coming in here from 100 Thieves. There it is, the quick hit from Skadoodle, the dash back out into safety, and that really puts immediately 100 Thieves on a bad note. The question is, at this point, do they start pressing further, or do they want to reset out of this?
And look at this. Skadoodle gets that pick short ace, feels immense pressure, backs off into sight. They sense the drone coming towards them. So 3 people in
I watched some of the games they have, yeah. I tried not to pay too much attention to it. It was hard though. Watching Steel play is really fun. He is so fucking smart, dude. The fuck is Skadoodle doing, dude?
Single-handedly doing so much damage to his opposition, and 100 Thieves will eventually be able to get this spike down, but it's a 2 versus 4 situation to play off of, and already their opposition are knocking at the door. Spider, they're on the flank, taking down Hiko, leaving just Asuna. He's gonna get tagged
God,
by the drone.
the blind would needed. There was just slight mistime, but they still get the trade.
Not enough. Skadoodle with a fantastic
Look at how clean their retakes are. They're isolating everyone. They got the flank, and then they just know this is where you're gonna drop. I'm gonna flash. I'm gonna flash, and they air at the same time, right?
Skadoodle and T1 coming into that first gun round. Some of his teammates stayed, on the Spectres. They didn't full buy. A lot of teams use this as a gamble round where they just keep their low guns. He bought an op, and that's likely why 100 Thieves was doing a 5A strap, because that is very unlikely right now in the pro scene. But he made it worth it by getting those 2 picks. That was such a well-played round by Skadoodle, and we're going to see a lot of him opping on short A. This is something that I think is a staple of T1's gameplay.
You guys want me to move my camera?
What's cool right now is that we actually have Dazed on the sniper as
well.
I don't know if yeah, so they'll go for the double sniper setup. Well, it's going to be super interesting to see how this dynamic plays out. It'll be very annoying, I feel like, for 100 Thieves to have to work around this. We'll get Asuna popping the run it back there to clear a lot of space for Garage, get a lot of information for the team as well. Of course, you can see it forces
that's such a good entry.
Back, he even gets a kill out of it. That's huge. Knowing that the anchor on the C side is dead, that's going to give the opportunity now for 100 Thieves to try to pressure that position even more. Huge rotation. The spike is not moving just yet. It's a little bit late to that C side. We'll have to see if that's going to be impactful.
Move the camera to the right of the map. I can move it to the right side of the screen or left side of the screen. I think this is good, though.
Huge factor in this round. You can see him staying at the end of Long C. He has his ult still, and he has shock darts in hand, his recon recharging. He is definitely someone to look out for in this round right now.
Yeah, very slow after that initial frag and a position gain onto the site. Both teams taking their time. Scar popping. Oh, popping the blades. He's going to pop Nitro.
Skadoodle. What the fuck?
Goes down as well to Skadoodle with that ultimate.
Hiko.
So much damage. He's here to play Hiko as
what the
well.
fuck?
Finishing off AZK. Beautiful hold there.
Yo, I think it was 36 months. Welcome back.
What was coming their way? Great hold.
I swear, I haven't seen Hiko not get 2 frags with that Sova ult in the last month. This guy has not only learned Sova, he's mastered it. I don't know if he just spends his entire day chilling in average Jonas's Discord or what, but I am so impressed with how much he has progressed with this role.
It almost didn't make sense to me to see that he was doing that much damage with it, able to pick off Scar like that. But into the next round we go, and we'll have to see if 100 Thieves can build from this. Very expensive buys, again, as you highlighted, Sean, seeing the operators coming out, not just 1, but 2. Very expensive stuff, especially since the price got raised even more. And in this situation, it's, we do have that Bulldog on Dicey, so he's not, I mean, the money for both teams is really in a dire position, and it's back to that C pressure. And there's 2 players there for T1 to try and defend this.
100 Thieves likes their C-pops.
And they've also got ACK on the breach. He's going to be needed here. That wall's going to block a lot of the flashes. Spider able to isolate these players. That's a beautiful position to hold from.
That jet smoke was really smart from Dicey. The jet smoke pops there because you guys actually want to see that.
Yeah.
It was core as well, finishing off.
Sova, he's
out.
My God, this VOD is so long. I went way too far ahead. So look here. He jet smoked on the site here because the most common, like, if there's a C push, what the breach will do to hold C on defense is to spam flashes through this side of the site. Just like pop flashes through the site, right? They throw the jet smoke because if he sends the flashes onto the site, they won't get blinded by it.
They've also got
That's why that jet smoke's there. It's a really good smoke.
That wall's going to block a lot of the flashes. Spider able to isolate these players. That's a beautiful position to hold from. And now
I think there was a mistake from Pico not checking the corner with the drone, I think. 12 months simp.
Yeah, and Spider got by the initial wave of the attack. He still has his paranoia. Oh my goodness. Just absolutely delete Steel out of the server. This round is all but done for 100 Thieves.
And we saw that, C approach coming through from 100 Thieves. Do you feel like they're trying to, in any sense, like what kind of approach are we looking at here, Sean? Because sometimes teams will be trying to condition
they should save here
opponents and their defense with the defaults and trying to make them expect certain plays. What are we seeing here from 100 Thieves?
Yeah, so their first gun run, they did that 5A strat, right? And this was a fake off of that. You could see they had heavy A presence early round. They had the Cam holding short A. They fought for a main control at the start, but Dazed actually didn't bite. He reconned, he double shock darted, and he just left. They had 2 people on C. T1 read this perfectly. I'm not exactly sure the tell that let them know that this was happening, but I think the most important round, or important frag of this entire round, was AZK's kill on Asuna. Because Asuna was about to wrap the site and take out Spider, but AZK came in and saved him. And without that frag, I think C site falls, and this would be like a drawn-out retake.
And it's the worst time, it feels like, for 100 Thieves to struggle in such a fashion. As we can see, the situation for their money is kind of bad. They have only 3 rifles at this point in time, and they get kind of reset on the economy, as it were. And we can see now Skadoo on that A-along position, looking to challenge.
And this is very important. This is very important that Dicey gets this orb.
Hope you're doing well as always, man. Mendo down.
They are. He will likely pop those.
Yo, they live in on some side. Mendo 7 in the chat. Now like they the host as well.
You might wonder, why is no one playing the B site? Now this is very common in the pro scene. People use Killjoy or Cypher to just hold this site for information and then retake it.
God, Steel.
Holy, do you see,
fucking
do you
fearless.
See jets like that very often?
Jesus.
And that's the beauty of
and he knows he can take the peak too. That's why it's so good, because he crossed short and the kill came from long, so he knows that he has advantage in that peak because he's not posted on that swing. Oh, their Christmas emo's not too. They have the 9 months to go back.
Moving into the B site, has to dash away. They're not landing those initial blades. Oh, and it's unfortunate that he can't connect anything. He still created a huge amount of distraction.
Dude, he's got so much map control right here, though. It'll be like, even if he's not really crunching, this is really good.
For the spike plant, the retake's gonna have to come in, and it should look pretty good here. T1, of course, are ahead.
He should be hearing them on B. I think he's dead though, but.
Uh-oh. That was close. It's going to be a difficult situation here for Hiko to hold by himself. You can see that he hesitate.
He's going to get caught. They're gonna.
Back away out of that position. He's not gonna make it
They're just
all
gonna
the
save their
way,
guns,
though.
I
He's gonna
think.
get detained. That's
They both got detained. No, that's an
Oh
even.
no.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's a rough one to deal with. And I mean, Brax, you know, Brax did pop his lockdown there, Sean. You know, it was a 4 versus 2, so there's always the argument to be made. You know,
I mean, okay, so think of it like this, chat. It's a 4v2, so it might look on that round alone that he's wasting the ult. But look at 100 Thieves' money here. They win that round, get the guns with that, like guarantee win the round. They don't even risk any deaths. They just have such an advantage on money. That's why they ulted there.
Dicey did a phenomenal job of pulling the rotate into B. You pointed it out in 2 A-Link, 2 C-Link.
So if 100 Thieves starts winning, like, I know that this game has already been played and this is a VOD. But I'm going to be talking as if it's live, because it'll make it more fun. So if 100 Thieves starts winning rounds and actually turns the half around, it'll be next round.
This is a very passive look from T1.
This could actually work out. It will be difficult to hold this. But again, that lockdown is gone now. Although, with that said, AZK has the Rolling Thunder available. Things get
That's a mistake.
too difficult on this retake attempt. There it is. He's going to pop it. Just going to go for it.
That's such a good angle for the breach ult.
Not taking any risks.
Like, they know exactly what they're doing. Look at this. Look at this ult. Right?
They're available.
Brax is here, and he knows exactly they could be backside. He wasn't fighting for backside control this time. They could not be pushing ceiling because they have the control, but they're isolating everyone into the site, right? So they can push garage, they can push for the flank, they can do all this stuff, right? They're pretty spread, and they don't know that there's flanks being set up and like people holding the pushes here. But the planter, which was still in this case, but multiple people could have crossed with the smoke. So this breach ult is made at this angle specifically so that the knockback from this ult will knock whoever's playing sight into the line of sight of Brax.
Love to see that. Not taking any risks, just throwing.
I was gonna barely manage to stay alive, but even then, it just wasn't good enough.
Hold this spike. Eco there with those annoying shock darts might actually get a kill with this. Not quite, almost. Respect the effort, but that will be a round.
This is a clean retake.
Once again, for
T1 are very good at retakes.
Such a great start here on the defense, and Sean, you mentioned Scar, and of course with that operator, he is such a presence on the map, and that feels like it's got to be so annoying to have to work around. Just the fact that around that A site, you have to worry that he could be short, he could be long, and you've got to invest a lot to try to take those positions away from T1 safely.
No ult. Bounce back time in the match. They've wasted their ults. Austin is likely going to try to get this orb, so that way he has his. There's the smoke top C. They're fighting for this orb, and Spider's just going to give it up. Austin will definitely be the player to watch this round. He's had a phenomenal match so far as a young entry fragger, but he's going to have to get some juice out of this one.
Yeah, we talked about the dynamics around the A side of the map here. A lobby, just trying to take away these positions from T1. Skadoodle's been so good at just creating kills, in fact, let alone
that's
just a
what's
strong
OP.
argument to avoid this side of the map. And it's going to be, the blood there is going to be called Brax by that short position. He goes down. Asuna able to get the entry. That's so important. So much presence. Look at the rotation coming through now. AZK pulled away from the C side of the map. He's in spawn.
And Steel gets the entry there. Like, they doubled up on the kill. So they do that a lot. Did Nitro have ult? Let me see.
He's in spawn. Look at the
No, he didn't, but he was one off. So what you'll see them 100 Thieves do quite a lot is Nitro will kind of go solo and prod a site, smoke and flash, and then ult over to where the exec is actually happening, and they exec with jet smokes. They do that a lot, and it works really well. And usually Nitro's actually holding the bomb when he does it as well.
That's in the middle of the open.
That's a really good plant. How the fuck? That's a really good plant. So they're just 3 people long and 1 holding the flank from garage.
Smoke agent is dead, so keep in mind they don't really have a very long-lasting smoke.
Well, so flash is available from AZK's perspective at least, so he could use those also. And it's going to be quite difficult, as you mentioned. Skadoodle's trying to do what he can here. That presence from Garage, actually, from Asuna is huge. But they're somehow getting the frags! T1 able to get all the frags. Defuses coming in.
They don't have it.
Enough time for this one. Daze is holding it, and he's
oh my god.
in time. Unbelievable retake. That didn't seem to ever be on the cards.
Dude, T1's retakes, man. I'm telling you.
No wrong in this situation.
.09 left on the spike. That is a heartbreaking.
The amount of times we refer to them as youngsters, listen, it's not about them being young, it's about their teammates being old.
They were terrified to peek into him. You could see they were just respecting it so much. And it just got to a situation where all of a sudden T1 knew where everyone was. The picture was so clear as the retake progressed more and more. That was very well done, though.
Yeah, that is so crazy. What a beautiful round for T1.
Dude, this Stinger double kill. What the fuck, man?
Under these are ready to go with those
fucking
Stingers in hand. Quick double for them as they gain all the ground towards the B site. But
Under these a good team, but they don't deserve those kills. That's just a fucking broken ass gun.
In the Cloudburst here, seeing if he can find an opportunity with his Vandal. Finds a timing here. Here's the spike go down. He wants to try to
I can't believe the arrow didn't get Nitro there.
For the cover on that ceiling position, leaving just Dazed and Brax. And it doesn't really seem like there's much left to be done here. Brax lurking around a lobby will do well to keep his gun in his hope.
By plays very late, very impactful. I'm curious to see how 100 Thieves incorporates that into the early round strat here. And this is again a heavy mid play by 100 Thieves.
Seems like 100 Thieves goes like, let's just fucking fight him in mid. And actually I agree. But they have to realize that what they've done so far is they've leaked some deaths, like they've leaked some kills, but they've always had presence early A and they've always had presence early C, right? And now they have none. And then the push is happening. Skadoodle's fucking getting his kills, like he is owning right now. I don't know if he should have taken that peek, but like he's an opera. Like it's his job to get those kills and take those risks. It doesn't always work out.
It's going to go a long way as he gets his position now onto that B site. Moving forward, Spike plant comes through, steal through the dark cover. Brax is waiting for him though.
Now the flanks are open. There's no trips.
More difficult for 100 Thieves because they've lost presence.
Oh, it sucks that Spider has an op here. If he had a rifle, this would be a really good flank, but he's probably gonna die.
And Nitro's gonna try to solve that by making his way around C window, and at the same time, Spider finding a classic kill onto Dicey around Grass. This is just
Nitro should have known that he was like he can see where the ult is placed. He should have known that he was coming from CT. Good post for that kill.
I think he saves his ult. He can't use it here. It's not winnable. So Hiko's gonna save his ult here. Oh my goodness.
It was a sloppy round, I think. A little bit sloppy.
Beautiful peek by Brax though. Coming
is that not a mistake pushing that link smoke? No, I don't think it's a mistake.
Angle that Nitro's holding, and then he lets
but
AZK finish
he is smart enough to know how Brax plays it.
That is a outstanding retake by T1. This is
since he knows they're close to ults or they have a lot of map control, you never, so basically like this is probably their protocol, right? And it didn't work great that round, right? Like Steel died, flanks opened up, the trips were lost, but the way it works is if you take B and give them A-Link and C-Link and you don't have C site or like garage control, they're just going to crunch you. Like you're just going to get pinched. They're going to push the site from both sides. You're not going to have any control. They don't have a comp. If they have a raise and stuff, they can play like anti-plant where they just throw nades on the bomb to like stall for time. But when you're pushing B, you want someone inserted into A-Link. Like very often, if you push B, you want to take one side of that map. Like you want to take C-Link, which is a little bit harder, but you want to take B-Link. Yeah, and you were droning, but he should have known that Brax is playing every single time they've gone B. Brax has been in A-Link. So he's probably trying to 50-50 Brax and then not get traded by you.
Come to play today.
Yeah, they're looking so good.
But Brax has been A-Link every single round so far, so I don't think it was a mistake. He had to go for it because they were down in numbers.
Asuna and Dicey suddenly have a lot to prove going very deep into a huge tournament as youngsters with maybe with the least experience on the server. So we'll see how we'll keep an eye on how they are doing with their performances throughout these rounds and these maps. Once again, we'll see.
He got unlucky? No, it wasn't unlucky. It was a play could have worked. He should have been more prepared for Brax being posted. Like
heavy pressure towards this B side.
Wanting to punish Days droning is like a little bit of a noob play, since Brax has been there every single round, every single time they've gone B. And there's Brax and A-Link getting the kills again. Same place. You promise you television that Jonah didn't think about Brax? I believe it. I believe it.
But it's going to be dropped straight away again.
I believe it.
It's looking incredible, man.
I think everyone does that.
Beautiful from T1 at this point. You're right, Sean. This is so decisive from them.
It's just game right now. They're blown away by.
It's funny you're shutting them down on the pushes too, because I was saying that every single round so far, like the retakes are so methodical, so precise, every single turn.
And once again, we get that short A peek. The cam there will at least allow them to have some warning of Skadoodle's positioning. and the threat that he has. And at the same time, we get a drone through the C site to run it back onto the C site as well. So lots of presence there, but let's remember the spike is here.
Still hard seeing if people have ults with this overlay.
It is in the hands of Steel. I don't think Steel was visible there to Brax. So at this point in time, T1 don't have a lot of info precisely as to what's going on. All they know
I
is
can
that
tell you guys are really like T1 is doing really well in terms of like AZK has ult here, so they're not contesting the C fight that hard.
This is
So if they're going for the retake, they have the ult for it, just like they did it on B before.
Right now to get a 2K on this lurk. He is lurking bottom mid right now. He's
then you push mid versus Stingers? Dude, that round, sure, you pushed mid against Stingers, but Stingers had no fucking business killing you guys that fast in mid. So stupid.
It's definitely going to be rough, but
how did Brax die? We just pushed A-Link and died to a post from outside A lobby, I'm pretty sure. Your arrow scanned A lobby. Scott posted deep, falls on the Phoenix ult. And then Scott or Brax pushes out because the arrow didn't see anything.
But let's remember the spike is here, and Brax, I don't know that he's.
Dude, 100 Thieves does this all the time, by the way, where they'll just hit a site and Nitrous on the other side of the map. If he has ult, he has the bomb too a lot.
The spike, it is in the hands of Steel. I don't think Steel was.
So like if Scott was posted a little bit longer there, and Brax gets a kill, that's the bomb dropped.
There to Brax. So at this point in time, T1 don't have a lot of info precisely as to what's going on. All they know is that they've lost the C site. There's the TP. That's going to tell them everything they need to know. And at this point, it's 4 versus 5 on the retake. Do they go for this?
A fantastic spot. Go late through B or garage, and he's going to hit an insane timing. This flash from Nitro, this is a super tough retake right now for T1.
Yeah, this is a save, in my opinion.
It's definitely going to be rough, but
things is just prodding at this point.
There it is, the rolling thunder, that will cue the push.
That was a really fucking good flash.
Nitro backside, though,
I just don't think there's enough time.
He's in a great position. He might be key in this one, taking down Dazed, slowing them.
This is why Haven sucks. Because like you look at the numbers, like you want to play the retake, but then you look at the fucking map design and I'm just like, you should save. It's last round, so it's not a save, obviously, and they had ults for it and stuff, but that's just how fuck the map makes me feel. Like, this should be a fair retake, but the map is so big that running from A after this death like takes forever.
By no means this game over. These teams are so well prepared this game.
No, I know it's last round.
I am certain 100 Thieves.
If it wasn't, it should be a save, is what I'm saying.
To make things difficult for T1.
You just gotta try it.
With that being said,
I just fucking hate this map, dude. I hate this map with a passion. There's shit map.
See that he has them both defending the C site with the cam and C site, and because of that, they're gonna play retake on C. They have no 1C, no.
Oh, I still have my fucking delay on. I didn't turn it off.
What a fight to win.
Mendo Kusai.
Yeah, that's a huge.
Haven't been able to catch stream in so long. University sucks.
1C, no one garage. Those trips are allowing them to do that. What a fight to win.
Yeah, that's a huge one, and it creates a lot
Even 30
of
months.
Here, but
my streaming has been
that,
pretty inconsistent.
As you said, there is that reliant on the trips, which I think one of the trips was just discovered by Spider. In fact, Spider just
she's sleeping right here in the crate. Can't see it.
It's
like 9 weeks old. She's been taking up a lot of my time.
Right now, it's actually so difficult for 100 Thieves. A lot of guesswork here. They're deciding to rely on the cam, rely on that trip that's left in garage, and just hold the B and the A sites respectively. You can see they're not in committed positions on the A site. They're able to just hold those.
No in-game VODs yet, could he?
Safely to allow their teammates to help them if it is in fact an A hit. So 100 Thieves are trying to.
Yeah, look at Scott. Scott right here. He dropped a better gun for a worse gun. This is a drop the classic for a ghost. Imagine you can't jump right click with the classic with a ghost.
As safe as they can, while still being able to get as much information as they can without.
Of doubt was planted in Steel's mind. He's looking to see if anyone lurked up. He has no idea. He's completely in the dark. He has to clear all these little angles by spawn right now. He's so unsure. And here's
getting that early kill by AZK just opens up so much. Like, either there's 2C or there's 2A. And either way, you push where Cypher is, the odds are that there's going to be less people with. So Spider walked up and could probably hear Steel toggling the cam and just say like, hey, Cypher is C, there's his cam. They probably like assume there's a trip either front B or garage. Either way, it won't be 2 on C.
How stupid
Yeah,
can
absolutely.
you
And
be?
you can see that the cam hasn't been triggered yet, so...
Going back C so he wants range? I don't know, man. I've jumped right-click people classic across the map on Haven. Like, I'm just saying that, like, you just jump right-click, you'll still get kills.
We'll have to see if it's going to make much of a difference. There's that tag. As Steel makes his way forward. Oh, the paranoia is going to last around Scar. Steel
I'm just saying, Classic's the best gun in the game. Frenzy's actually really good too.
Coming down into the 2 versus 2 now. Hiko and Nitro, 400 Thieves. Hiko puts the pressure on, holding the defuse. He's going all the way with this one, all the way, and he gets it. Great stuff there from Hiko and Nitro. What a retake.
That was a good round anyway.
Oh my.
Just Haven shit map. Like, he sticks it after eating a fucking...
3-on-1 if you all peek at once. You see Daze.
Shock dart's unlucky.
Oh my.
I think, definitely think that you probably should have been
They're all planning these.
the only person long. That's what I would say is like, maybe, no, you guys know utility needs 1 health, I guess. And you're low too. Was Brax late? Because there should have been more people sight, I think, fighting. Brax is holding flank, staying in turret range. Is that what happened? He was up on site and fell back for the turret to hold flank, I guess. I think you just needed more people on site, right?
Coming for the retake. We'll have to see if it's going to make much of a difference. There's that tag as Steel makes his way.
Like, Scar just needed someone swinging right here. Spider gets the kills, but needed more. You just need more bodies.
The bomb contagious scenario in a 2-on-3. One guy has to stick the bomb, so that means you're in a 3-on-1.
Plan was a little bit off too. If it was a little bit more to the left, it would have been more spammable around the corner.
And they started off on.
Yeah, no, I mean Brax was spamming the plant, but you look at the lineup because he was on. I think he crossed left and spammed. If I saw that right, it was just planted a little bit too deep on the right to be able to spam it from all the way down. So he could have been all the way over here. If it was planted a little bit more to the left, it'll be easier to spam.
Once you see Daze in his bow and arrow,
and probably not. He wasn't even on that side. Like all the spam coming, the smoke is on the right side of the bomb.
Oh my goodness.
And then the spam came in before your shock dart too. So the spam should have come in, and I think the spam should have been held. At least a few shots should have been held till after the shock dart for when he's low, so you can kind of just feel it out and probably get the kill on the if he sticks it.
Approach coming in from 100 Thieves. Not losing. Predict tag on one.
So where do these deaths happen?
Haven't team, which was so difficult, yet they still come out on top. Just goes to prove your point. You can't count either of these teams out, no matter the situation. And we're going into the eco here for T1. They haven't decided to buy up anything too much. We've got a sheriff on AZK, a couple frenzies as well, but pretty good anti-eco approach coming in from 100 Thieves, able to so far have a flawless.
You got info that there's 3A right there. I don't think the death is bad.
The C site will be given,
especially for like an eco.
In this site, you can see that again. Check the camp position.
You can't watch us crumble here. Okay, later days.
That's going to put it in predictable spots.
Peace.
And that can allow him to once again get that free information. Just that one tag on.
Doesn't matter whether the dart or bullet gets the kill though. No. Well, okay. So here's the thing. Think of it like this: if I'm 125 HP and I'm being spammed by classic from long, I'll stick it. Okay. If I go halfway and the shock dart comes in and I'm suddenly 70 health and then the classic spam comes, because the classic spam isn't guaranteed damage, so you want to like, in order to get the kill on someone full health spamming, you want to spam one spot and hit him 4 times in the chest, right? Headshot maybe, right? But then if the shock dart comes first and the spam after, the diffuser is low, so you can pace your shots out over multiple areas. So like, if I hit him here, twice he's dead and just move it around the bomb. Whereas if you're spamming with a classic with some full health, you want to just concentrate on one area and try to get lucky.
T1 going aggressive. They know they can't just sit on the site.
This is a good plant. Eco round.
Doing actually. Ready? And simultaneously they broke the trips and took the site. So that way the alert happens at the same exact time. That makes things very difficult for Steel. But looking at Steel, you can see he didn't immediately panic and activate the cam, see what's going on. He waits for the retake. And that's when he's going to activate that cam, and he's going to figure out where everyone is. And that's going to make things so easy when you have 5.
Give up the site too, because then the smoke comes down as a C long, so it creates so many problems. So yeah, so interesting, that strength for 100 Thieves on the retakes there on C. Will certainly give T1 pause for thought as they go for Some A lobby pressure there. They've got some control.
I think T1's defaults on offense starting off in the round in terms of taking base map control looks better than 100 Thieves.
To be either in the site or out of the site entirely. The drone comes through as well. And we have that different setup entirely because we have Nitro towards the C site, and instead of relying on all of the Cypher util. So this is the perfect moment to really switch up what Steel is doing, I feel like. And his cam is going to be such a problem on the retake again, I feel, Sean.
It is. And he's playing this spot in Heaven because typically Heaven gets smoked off like this, and he's going to use this cage, and there it is!
Beautiful stuff.
Oh,
there's the
beautiful trip.
We love to see that. This is just so disgusting from Steel. These players here dancing around. He'll drop himself onto the site to try to proceed to get more kills. Keep the pressure on.
Steel should have stayed alive there.
Spike plant. Dicey now
not worth dropping when they're not planting.
Heaven position. And indeed, the spike is now going down. This feels quite tense though for T1 as they try to hold on to this position. Drone coming through. Spike now just planted, but Asano knows precisely where Spider is caught, trying to reposition. Timing is absolutely perfect coming in on this retake. Nitro there with a double off the Stinger, and Brax on
was a good ult. Forced to trade off the risky peek and getting the info anyway.
And it's all up to Nitro as
he
he
get
sits
on
on
me.
that bomb. And is it going to be a hole? He gets it to halfway at the very least. He's sticking it. Pro stone fake. And that is going to feel awful for Brax, but you know what? You got to gamble that.
Oh, that is heartbreaking for Brax. He had the perfect flank. Hiko's just sticking these bombs all half. The spike is just getting defused all day by this guy. Oh my. But I love the Cypher setup in the A site where they put the trips around, all around the bomb site, knowing that they're going to get smoked off Heaven. And the second someone hits that trip, it's a free frag from Heaven through the smoke.
Yeah.
It's such a clever little play that tons of Cyphers are doing right now.
And it really shows you as well that 100 Thieves are thinking like
Steel's so good at changing his setups.
Right now, like,
he'll do a setup once and he won't really do it again if he can avoid it. Like he swaps around his stuff very often. Steel confirmed the comment that play was it's Brax, he's not going to peek you, just stick it. Bam.
They can just fall
Bam.
back to more defensible positions. They drone through long on A,
That's
so they
pretty
have
funny.
more understanding as to
That's some
exactly
big dick
what's going on.
shit.
They discovered
Not
that
gonna
there
lie,
were
that's some
many
big
players
dick
towards that
shit.
position. So they could maybe presume
I
that
respect it.
these ecoing players of T1 might be on a rotation right now. And they will just wait and see. There's also that possibility they reset into the short play, but there's 2 players there for 100 Thieves on short as well. So it feels like all the bases are covered.
I feel like if... Okay, I was going to say if T1 goes through Garage, it could be a big problem for Nitro.
That mic clipping, you guys hear that too, right? That's not just me.
That is a very cool arrow backside.
Oh, very nice damage there.
Give someone else the gun. Let's go.
Right there by Steel.
There you go.
Yeah.
Brings it into a 4-4. This is
yeah, that was a new play by Steel too.
Brax doesn't have any mollies left though for the bomb.
Told the thing for 38 months because he heard the dash for sure. He knew he was top site. At least back site, right? If it's either top or back site. And he'll die either way because he can't swing out clearing both at the same time without a flash.
The timing could really be a problem. That's very important though. That's a great hands there to slow things down. And that's actually going to allow Nitro to get the better timing on his flank. Easy double for
Disgusting.
Nitro, and that might just be what does it here. As we will see Brax trying to make it work there.
He's not going to peek.
With the Sheriff looking for the shots, but Nitro is really hitting his shots so far, and that's going to be a cleanup for 100 Thieves. But as you said, that looked very dangerous. And, well, thankfully for 100 Thieves, it doesn't amount to much.
I mean, you brought it up earlier in the round. Asuna with the hot hands on the Garage flank. The heads-up play from the youngster. Out of all the players in the server,
very good flank by Nitro. Like, perfect time.
The youngins in the server.
Flanking on this map, even though it's such a big map, flanking is like, feels shitty. It's really good, but being the flanker feels shitty because you have to clear so many corners on the way. It's like boring to flank, right? Because you just have to clear all these fucking corners. There's a million of them. And then they can be tucked into behind a secondary corner. But getting the timing right and shit wins you rounds.
Daze actually has that Hunter's Fury we can see up at the moment, and I do wonder if that's going to come into play in this round. And this is dangerous actually for T1. They've lost control of a lobby. That deep smoke is going to give a lot of info to 100 Thieves.
I don't know how Nitro and Steel are going to hold this hit. Nitro won't get blind, and that is definitely a very big positive.
Oh my god.
Real stuff there from Steel. What a
no shot. What the fuck? Dude, what a play.
Are looking so damn good right now. Oh, that was
what
so
the
beautiful.
fuck?
Prime Gaming flawless.
That was a trip, right? That was a trip kill.
Gets the next.
Yeah, so first was a trip.
Are looking so damn good right now.
But like, this is okay. This play's sick. This kill, crazy. This one, running around and spraying and falling. I mean, he got the 3K, but it's a little bit dumb that he can get these kills. Like, running accuracy is fucking stupid. But the play itself was fucking amazing, dude.
See that? Oh my goodness. That was
so mind-blowing too, because I'm looking at that, and that looks so awkward, the way that Steel's in that corridor. Like, you got Nitro up on the crates, it just looks so awkward, but yeah, that looked beautiful in the end. And back into the egg lobby pressure here into the next round. 100 Thieves, one round away from tying this one up into a 9-9 affair after having to come back through some really awful rounds, and obviously they were playing off of such a deficit. At the end of the first half, they had only 3 rounds, but T1 unable to find any success so far here, and that's a, we do have an ultimate ready for the Sova, the Hunter's Fury. That's going to be popped there off the back of the drone. It's actually going to be 100 Thieves that managed
That's why I think Killjoy is actually inferior pick versus good teams than Cypher, because Killjoy's ult is rock, paper, scissors, right? Killjoy's ult is rock, and Sova ult is paper. Sova ult just removes it. Where the information Cypher provides will always give you a certain amount of value.
T1 heavily outgunned, so we can't really say that this was an unexpected result, but that's it, 9-9, and this game right now is looking like 100 Thieves have
Mendo Comfy, how are you doing? Less than 3 Mendo.
Yeah, and
Learning, thank you for 6 months. Welcome back.
You know, a gimmick from the youngsters right there in the A site. Dicey gets hit by the drone in a spot where it looks like he's holding long A. And then Asuna just dry swings long A and catches 2 people totally unaware that that could be a possibility. I would also be caught off guard massively in a situation like that. More importantly, they got rid of the Killjoy ult. This is now a game 9-9, Dan. I can't believe we're at this spot.
Absolutely, and we're going to see, once again, just this, as we've seen so many times, this is kind of how Haven plays out. You want to try to control as much position as possible. We get that early exchange around the A side of the map.
Brimstone also removes it, yeah, but if you remove if you have Brimstone to remove Killjoy ult, you're removing yourself out of the game, because Brimstone fucking sucks, dude.
Scott thinks it's at the box. Oh, Steel, you rat. Oh, they found it.
We'll still make a play.
Dude, I wanted to peek this so bad. It's actually really good timing for him to peek.
Scary stuff here. It's looking like he's ready to make a play. There's nobody near him to support.
He knows not to. I would fucking peek this. Oh, there it is. It's a bad peek, but fuck. This is a good lurk, though. He might. Holy fuck. Oh, that's so unlucky.
This is so tense right now. Steel finds a headshot. He is looking for a second.
He got the one, and there was a Phoenix with follow-up, so they don't lose too much. That's not bad. Front B plant. I don't like B plants, man. I don't think they're good.
On the B site, Asuna, though, with the hot hands, claiming forward position, as we'll see T1 falling back and out, trying to defend from the
Nitro with another flank on another B plant, dude.
Nitro is there, causing problems, going in for that window control, and just both sides.
That was Nitro killing Brax?
Right now. There's nothing
Jesus.
that T1 can do to hold this spike.
Oh my goodness, living up to their name.
I would buff Brain by
now,
giving
Dan.
him
These guys
smoke
are
recharges.
literally stealing this match straight from T1's hands. I can't believe it. Every play they've made this half is just so nice. Nitro's always on these amazing flanks. Asuna making these aggressive mid-round plays. Steel opening up rounds as Cypher. This is insane. This comeback is unreal.
The level of both of these teams is so awesome, but just seeing 100 Thieves, how they respond to some of these positions, as you say, Sean, and controlling all of these flanks as they have been and getting the value that they have been from them is extremely impressive. It's such a joy to witness just all of the hard work and how it's manifesting, going into the playoffs here from these 2 teams. Now 100 Thieves, spotlight's on them right now. Can they keep this going? T1, do they switch something up? What do they do differently here, Sean, to try to change the fortune?
They haven't really given that much attention to the C site. I think using Daze ult, getting that spike down in the C site with the Sova ult, knowing shock dart lineups, they should have won the piss run there. I think the C site is where they need to be going. They have had 0 success.
And the puppy woke up when I started coughing.
Dicey with the operator, trying to see what he can get early on. And Asno, I love these slow pushes down mid, especially if a team goes heavy on that A default.
Yo.
What up?
You can get a lot of value from this. He can just sit in the window now and wait for them to rotate.
I'm 10-9 your first game, which is 100
That's
Thieves
all he has to
T1.
do at this point. And the rest of his team now just have to keep an eye on what's going on in the A side. They got the cam there for the retake.
I have a fucking delay on my stream, so I'm gonna share my screen on Discord.
Even though T1 are taking ground towards A right now, it feels like
you
this
going
play into window
over
really
like
has
every
100 Thieves at a huge
I
advantage.
thought you were doing a short stream because of WoW.
Yeah, I'm doing a short stream, so I'm just doing a few games tonight.
Site, Austin is going to be on the flank.
See if there's interest. Did you see my puppy, by the way?
No.
I got a new one. It was my Christmas present from Lauren.
Oh, that's very cute. Did you post it on Twitter? Should I tune in the stream?
Yeah. He's very sleepy. He's in the crate next to me.
Very cute. What kind of dog?
He is German Shepherd Black Lab.
Oh shit. Are you ready for that, Mendo?
Oh yeah, I grew up with a Rottweiler.
That's like, oh okay, okay, but this is like a life. You know, this is another 10-year commitment.
Well,
Could
I
be
have another
15-year
puppy,
commitment.
so they're going to exhaust each other anyway.
You better hope so.
Oh, I know they will. They've been fucking at it for days already.
I mean, that's really good. That's really, really good.
I grew up, and I realized that having one dog, if it's an active dog, you want to come back up, okay? Having one dog's harder than two.
Yeah, you're probably right. I had big dogs, but only one at a time.
Yeah, I had,
and
I had a lot. I grew up with, at one point I had 5. And they're very easy to take care of when they play with each other and they teach each other. Especially when they're smart.
the only benefit to me is I live near Central Park.
Oh, yeah.
And my building has a ton of dogs. So
you're in an
there's
apartment.
dogs in the building. Yeah, there's dogs to socialize in the building, and there's more dogs to socialize in the park. But it's still in an apartment. He can't go like.
Yeah, that sucks. I have a
He can't
house
go out the back
with
door
a
and
huge
run
yard,
around.
like,
Yeah.
and I won't ever not house. And she's basically crate trained already, except for just like crying when she has to pee and stuff. In 3 days.
That's fine. That's good. That's good.
Dude, Coda was a nightmare when he was a puppy.
Have to turn around and watch this flank soon.
But I wanted him to have a friend
Go
because
to the flank, though, as you said.
we have a house. I live with roommates, so he has a lot of people to play with, but he's been so tired the past few days because they just run around, and she's 10 pounds, so holy shit, what a round. She's not a match for him, but he's very good at playing with her already, and then they're both just fucking super tired come nighttime.
Then that's really good. Yeah, you lucked out then.
Yeah.
And if they're nice to each other and they like each other, they'll play with each other for forever. Yeah, that's good.
That was the plan. Like, this is an adoption. Rehome from someone moving out of state, so they couldn't take all their dogs with them because they didn't know their dogs were pregnant. Then they had the puppy. It was a Craigslist one. It was a Craigslist ad.
Oh, wow.
And we met up with them and stuff, and then we found a dog that we thought would fit with Coda in terms of like energy, playfulness, size. They're gonna be similar sizes, you know. And then we get in. I bring in dog trainers to come, like in-house dog trainers. Maybe not now with COVID, but to help train. But when you have a second dog, from my experience growing up, I've had a bunch of dogs over my years. Like I had small dogs, I had big dogs, I had small and big. And the older ones just teach the younger dogs like everything. Older ones just teach them like you go outside on the yard to pee. Yeah, maybe sometimes they get on the counter together and one is lookout if they're smart enough, but hopefully not these.
This is why your dad is so like. I actually had to stop following your dad on Twitter because he kept posting fucked up shit about animals. I know he wants to stop it, but it was like, oh my god, I can't do it.
Yep, he is. That's how I was raised. Very, very animal everything. So I realized I can't live without a dog because if I don't have a dog to like dictate my day, then I'm not gonna get up, get into the kitchen, refill a water bowl, get some water for myself. But,
yep, I've had dogs wake me up at like 8 a.m. for like most of my life.
Yeah,
usually earlier.
Coda's been pretty good about like schedule. He'll just like sleep when we sleep. But even like when he was a puppy for the first year, he was all about, he wanted to be up at 10 a.m. fucking sharp. He wanted his food at 6 p.m. sharp every night. Not anymore. He kind of just adjusted. But I'm not going to say I've gotten a lot of sleep the past 3 days crate trading her, but it went from 12, woken up 12 times in night 1, 5 times night 2, and then night 3 was just once.
Oh, that's great then. I mean, how old is she?
9 weeks basically.
Mendo
Oh,
7.
okay. I mean, dude, that's really good.
And then
That's really good.
yeah, and then we just got a. I mean, I learned from having my own first puppy coda. We just got a playpen. We got a tarp. So we just put the tarp and the playpen on top and just let her play there. Because when they're puppies, they can't hold their bladders for shit. They just, oh, I have to pee right now, and they just pee, you know. And
Yep.
we slowly train her to, whenever she wakes up from a nap, we take her outside. She pees and poops. We give her treats. Very happy.
To deal with a flank that's never gonna happen.
But yeah, so that's been my days. And I don't know, she's easy because if I'm not watching her, then Lauren's watching her. If Lauren's not watching her, then one of my roommates are watching her, and it's just like you just put him in the room with the playpen or the crate, and she'll just vibe.
Yeah, that's cool.
Show puppy? I would farm prime see if I could. But
He
is sleeping.
She
got annoyed at me.
That's insane. The right click through the cage.
Okay, so did you watch this game live? 100 Thieves T1?
Yeah, I watched the whole.
Okay, yeah, so you know that there's a fucking turnaround of rounds.
Now just have to keep an eye on what's going on the A side. They got the
I mean, what do you think about the tournament in general?
What did you think of the prime?
Even though
I don't like the
Just
UI.
on
I
games,
think the UI is pretty
Oh
ugly.
yeah, the production, dude. The UI was buggy and shitty the whole time.
Yep.
It would show rifles on pistol rounds. It wouldn't show who was buying the correct weapons on the start of the round. The UI would change like 10 seconds after the round started. Like someone would have a pistol and the round started. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And then it would show a rifle 15 seconds later, and I'm like, what the hell is happening?
But it does look better than the original. But even then, I don't know. Observing was pretty good though. Sapphire did a good job. Some matches were a little hit or miss, but yeah, I haven't really missed anything so far.
I have no idea what that came from, but somehow T1
No, there was like one or two things I kind of remember, but for the most part, it was pretty solid.
Yeah.
I think one of the bigger problems is that in the replay, all they have right now is the literal replay, unlike in Counter-Strike, where the replay is a different POV.
Dude, the thing is, I have some of the players on my friends list, and I can still see them. They're just on a different version of the game. They had, what is it? It was 10 players and 12 observers in each lobby. It was 22 people per lobby.
Then I don't know what, because the replays every time was just a literal replay. They never got to show like a different POV in the replay, which is what you needed a lot of time. Like if you miss the kill, the replay doesn't fix anything. It just shows you the re-fuck up broadcast again.
But maybe that's only because most of the time the observer was on the right person. And that's why the replays were
I actually don't think that they can do it yet. I don't think that they can show a different POV of someone if they didn't get it live. That is my guess.
Like they were. I saw. Fuck, I have a screenshot of it. I think, but like it's a bunch of people in the lobby. So I think they're recording every single one of them independently, and then having the two observers like you normally have. And then they did show different POVs sometimes, but it just didn't fit.
I don't know, man. I don't think so.
No, they for sure saw. No, for sure saw different POVs.
I don't think so.
But the replays are.
Man, these teams look.
I don't know, like they do replays in between for every freeze time, but I want replays for. Let me see their setup and stuff, and then show me a replay if it's like a retake and Brax gets 3. But on the enemy team, Steel gets 3 just before that. Like, I want that replay, you know? I don't want the winning round replay. I want the different POV because I already saw what happened.
Yeah, no, I still think they have to, they have a lot of kinks to work out. They're so far behind Counter-Strike in terms of that type of feature. It's going to take them time to get there. But even now, Overwatch, they're way behind.
Viewership was fucking good.
Yes, but that's also because Ninja and Myth were streaming.
Myth was really good. Myth owned.
Myth had double the official stream, which is good. I think it's fine. I love the co-streaming model, but, you know, there's some arguments to make that, you know, with Myth isn't there.
Well, okay, here's how I see it. If you don't already have a game with enough storylines in between the teams where people want to watch the games on their own, then it's really healthy that people have this middle ground where they can watch Myth watch the games, to introduce them to the game if they don't know who they're a fan of yet because it's a new game.
That's such a sick base.
I think
Yeah,
it works really
I
well.
know, I agree. I would much rather there be co-streaming for esports tournaments than just the official broadcast. I think you get big streamers to bring in people that wouldn't normally watch it, and that's how you grow the esports. So I think it's totally how they should keep doing it. I just don't know if Riot will allow it. I mean,
I couldn't co-stream it. Lex was gonna get banned if he co-streamed it. Only Ninja and Miz could. Yep.
Okay, that's kind of why. I mean, I understand both, but Ninja wasn't streaming the whole time. He only streams the last day. Why does he get allowed then? Myth at least was consistent. Like, he's been doing this as a shtick, as coach TSM for like every tournament. That makes sense because he kept it up. He's in character. He's doing stuff. Ninja. Look, I mean, of course it's fine. It's Ninja, so I mean, whatever. He's playing the game too. But that one seems a little bit like he's just got it because he's Ninja.
We'll see.
Which
I think it made sense to bring in Ninja as the unofficial 100 Thieves guy, but like, it should have been someone else from actually 100 Thieves. Like, it should have been Courage or something. I guess he's on YouTube though. But yeah, Nadeshot would have been fucking perfect.
Didn't Nadeshot get told like to turn it off one time too, like previously? So it would have made. I feel like it would have made sense.
Apparently, the 100 Thieves mob were allowed to stream. I didn't get a response. I know a bunch of people weren't allowed. I don't even know if I can stream the VODs. I'm just banking on the fact that if I get DMCA'd for watching the VODs, then it'll make them look really bad. So hopefully that won't happen.
Yeah. I totally agree with you. I love that approach too. I think you're good.
So, okay, in general, I think 100 Thieves offense defaults were pretty meh, and T1's retakes on defense were fucking amazing. But then T1's offense defaults look better than 100 Thieves, but they're not closing any rounds out. They're just missing kills.
And look at the setup from 100 Thieves. They are reading them like a book.
I gotta kind of remember what happened on this map.
In this A site,
it was 9, like 100 Thieves are up, not like, or T1 were up like 9-3. And the 100 Thieves just bring it back.
Yeah, T1 through this map.
Yeah. I think 100 Thieves played well, but yeah. But it is Haven. The map is dog shit. And it was 9-3 halftime swap into basically the equivalent of 9-3, you know?
Oh, this doesn't even seem fair. Just dodging the rolling thunder by a hair
Mike
and
looking
then
up the
spraying
match
them all
one sec.
down. Great display from Asuna. Again, Sean, you put it to question at the beginning of the series here. We need to see the youngsters, Asuna and Dicey, the least experienced players on the server,
Why is
able to deliver
Dicey's knife so small?
So far, so good.
It's tiny.
Asuna right now has to be my MVP of this map. If 100 Thieves wins this, he put them on his back on this Phoenix. He has had so many impactful frags.
This is like half the original size.
Right now, 12
Oh, this is just a C hit. There's fucking 3A. This is perfect conditioning by T1 because they've had really high presence towards A every other round. And now they're just about to hit C.
Nitro does very well.
I feel like they ult Nitro too. Yeah, they ult Nitro. Nitro dies, he dies, but they still fuck this up. From what I remember.
The Hunter's Fury is coming for him as well, so they really put a lot into.
There's no ults on either side.
It's like, this is ridiculous.
Well, it's an eco round from T1, but yeah.
It's the final round. Can't let, I mean, the guy can't just die for free.
The mistake is simple.
Trading steel.
The mistake is simple, is that they weren't pushing backside. When they're up on site, they just stop.
But there is one guy backside already. He's behind the box. Steel's able to kill both. Steel can't kill both here. He has to die.
No. The T1 needs to be fighting backside before Steel even crosses over here. They need to push them into CT. The Steel peeks and gets a kill. There's no trade for like forever. His Spider thinks he has it. Yeah. No, we needed Skadoodle and Brax to be swinging site to fight them in CT.
Well, they were both afraid from garage. I mean, they had 3 people looking garage, so. Which obviously seemed pretty poor. Yeah, like T1's post plans not that great. Oh, this is when Riot told them they can't have,
that's funny.
They can't have people behind.
It's a competitive advantage.
Yeah, you know, fist bumps.
An amazing
competitive advantage. All that mental health coaching. Too much mental health. Too competitive. Can't have it.
Those spike diffuses in the second half. Everything just going their
But
way.
it makes sense. It's a rule, and they have to follow the rule. Like, that makes sense. All right, now it's Bind. Now Brax is playing Cypher, and I think Cypher is better, except for Ascent is the only map I think Killjoy is pretty good. Cypher is better in general.
What about on Split?
On Split,
I mean, okay, by the way, the European comps I love because I totally like the oddities that they do. I think that is the way to go. And as a whole, I do not like Triple Duelist. I didn't like Triple Duelist. I still don't like it. I know that it works relatively okay for TSM, but I think it's a very team specific thing. I don't think it's like the best way to play, so to speak. I'm not a fan of Triple Duelist. I think really the Sage and the Vipers and all that weird shit that's not supposed to work. I mean, fucking Heretics low ran Sage every map the entire time.
if we talk about Heretics, we're gonna end up talking
sense.
about the person on the team.
Nisao? Okay, this is what I'll say. I did a little bit of digging, and I have found no evidence that he is cheating in this game.
In this game, but what about all the other games?
So from what I understand, I could not pinpoint specifics on him getting banned in those games. Either this is like these are like stories that have been passed down over and over and over, or he was manually banned in the case of Battlefield 1942. I don't believe that there is a VAC for CS:GO, and from the people I've spoken to, I do not believe that Niso is cheating now.
You forgot about Apex.
I feel like I don't think that he got a game ban for that either.
No,
Are you sure?
He got manually banned from Scrim Discords.
See, that it's not the same fucking thing though.
Because his teammates apparently reported him.
I mean, fine, but you know, look, I'm not fucking. I don't like cheaters. I fucking hate.
And he's the only person without a camera in the entire tournament.
I'm not saying it's not really shady and really weird, and he's not helping his case by putting a camera on there and showing people he's not cheating. But you know, Mendo, people called you cheaters. Pro players have called you cheaters many times. It like,
yeah, but I've never been banned before.
No, but he.
If people called me cheaters because I had multiple game bans before,
but he doesn't have that. Okay,
yes, he does.
I understand that is like an urban, somewhat legend. He got manually banned from Battlefield.
Battalion.
At Apex, he did not get game ban. Battalion. At Apex, he did not get game ban, and CS:GO, he did not get game ban. There's no VAC ban. There's no EA, anti-cheat ban. Those were like private, like scrim discords and things that from the community, not from the game. I don't want to defend the dude because anything can happen, but I do think that people are a little bit too quick. And if Riot had found him to be cheating, I don't think that they would have let that happen. I feel like if they had found him cheating at any point during the qualifiers, they would have stopped the qualifier. Why would they want a team with a cheater who's been suspected by several different game communities to win the tournament and like fuck up their whole integrity process when they put so much pressure on this anti-cheat? I know what you're gonna say. Why would they want to expose a cheater who fucking
no? I'm gonna say so. If he's cheating, then so what? If Doc can do it, then why can't he do it? That's what I think. And I think, speaking of, right. Most people have said, in terms of EU versus NA comps, is like, that EU looks more like pugging than NA. What do you think about that?
I think that EU, as like every single FPS game ever created, is ahead of NA.
Really?
But we haven't had any EU versus NA, so we don't know. I mean, the eye test tells me no, and the eye test tells me that the NA teams are further ahead and look better on just execution. But like, I don't know. I like the comps. I like Sage. I mean, I was saying Sage on Split is meta, and I feel like that is still a good choice. But then LoL runs it every map, and I'm like, well, that's really fucking cool. And then they're running Viper and shit too. And I don't know. Like, I like that style. I like the like
I think EU is more fun to watch as a competitive player. Because it's just a lot of fighting. Like, they just fucking fight to their death when they're fighting for map control and stuff. But then, I think if you watch NA, like, sure, you can argue that EU has more individual talent than NA right now. Even then, there's a lot of talent in NA. But NA teams look way more put together. The protocols, the takes, the executions. Like, I think Asian teams, what I've seen, they have, like, the crazy, like, eco plays, the dash down timings with the, like, flashes and stuff. But NA looks more put together, than EU in terms of team-wise from what I've watched, right? Like watching these different EU teams play and watching the NA teams play, it looks to me like NA have better teams and EU have better players. But also like that's also like confirmation bias because when you're playing as a team, you're not showcasing your skill as a player to its extent, like full extent, right? So when you're like how EU plays it, they play a lot about fighting. Like you see a lot of crazy plays from individual players. But that's because when you see like Brax put himself in a position to 3K, he gets a 3K. And then you see Brax put himself in a position where he'll most likely die, and he will most likely die, right? So I think like in terms of like the fundamentals, I would say like the fundamentals of NA teams are ahead of both like all three regions, right? Like I've only seen EU, Asia, and NA, and I think NA as a team, like the fundamentals and the team play and the trading and protocols are up there, like above the other ones. And Asia has way more like unique, crazy strats, right? Like really fucking good executes, like really well timing, like key flash plays on map controllers, like dashing down mid, like perfect breach flash and stuns, you know? Asia fucking owns at that. There's some crazy shit.
They're
like,
owning the abilities.
Yeah, exactly. The abilities and the team play. Like when it comes to abilities. And EU have the individual players, from what I've seen, and it's like you can say it's more puggy, but like it's downplaying the skill, but they have some crazy fucking like shit going on in their games too.
Well, what about the comps though? I mean, to me, that is the most unorthodox part about EU.
I don't think comps in this
they're
game,
running shit that's not supposed to work. They're putting Brim on Bind. They're running
Brim on
Sage
Bind
on every
was
map.
meta for months and months because it's actually better than
But
Omen.
Omen is OP though.
Omen is really fucking good, but I actually think Brim is better than Omen on Bind. But when you're playing Omen on every single other map than Bind, then like Omen fills the role and he does it pretty fucking good too. So why learn a new character just for Bind when you can just be super consistent with your comp and be able to put the practice from the 4 other maps into Bind as well, you know? But if you put two teams against each other and one just played only Bind and the other one plays only Bind and one plays Omen, one plays Brim, I actually think Brim is better because you have so many more options. And with Omen, you can't like smokes come down. We're hitting A right now. It's like, oh, they smoked heaven, and oh, they also smoked mid site. They're gonna fight for back site. But when the Brim comes, it's like a hard execute, just pop, right? And Bind doesn't have as many areas where like you smoke one thing and you can kind of push something. Like you're pushing Haven on A, you smoke Heaven. You're pushing Bind, you smoke C Link and kind of jet smoke like A Link and kind of push it. You push C, like you need the one smoke CT, maybe in Garage, but you don't need them both at the same time because when you're pushing up, CT can't see C long anyway. Where Bind has these areas where you're running out Bind, A site, like short, Heaven sees you, mid side sees you, right side sees you, everything at once, right? And I think like I still think Sage is fucking good, but I think that NA teams have realized that like in order to become a top tier team, you want people on consistent characters throughout as many maps as possible so you can become as good as possible on that comp. Even though another comp might be better,
but that doesn't seem. I mean, that's only because we're really early in the game.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, sure. But I also think that like I think that being able to excel at your comp, like TSM does, they play triple duelist when they really like when they're on. Like obviously that's a composition where a lot of what matters is how much you frag and how many headshots you get because like you're gonna take duels. And whether you win or lose rounds is somehow gonna end. Like sometimes it's gonna end up like, did the duelist win his duel or not? But when you're playing a composition, you want to excel in this composition like super hard. I think sticking to as many consistent character picks as possible is super necessary. And then branch out to say, okay, we know I want to play Bind. I'm gonna learn Brim now, you know. But I just think Nitro isn't as good on Brim as he is on Omen, and that matters more than the composition itself at this stage of the game.
No, I agree. I mean, do you think that LoL is playing Sage because he's been playing Sage the whole time?
I think he excels at Sage, and like I think that he can play another character that brings a different kit to the team. But if he's just that good on Sage and he makes it work, then there's no reason not to play. Because I still think Sage is fucking good. I think she's dog shit, but in a team environment, like in team versus team and matches, Sage can do some crazy fucking shit and fuck up timings and get like forced map control. And for like her wall is a glorified, like it's a tripwire basically too. So like you have so many uses. So if you're really good at Sage, I think you should play Sage, right? Like I think that makes sense to the point where like if you're that good at it, instead of learning something else and building up that character to match your Sage, why not just excel at Sage? Play to your strengths. You play to win. You don't play to not lose. And then Korea goes crazy. Like they go on Icebox. They have a comp that like fits like 4 key. Like they have 4 executes they want to do. and they literally build a composition around those crazy executes. So they can't run their defaults as efficiently as possible, but they got some crazy shit going on, you know?
EU had double Viper, double Sage on Icebox. Do you feel like, is that just people don't know what the fuck is going on, or no Omen? How does Omen not get played on Ice?
I think that Omen is way better than Viper on Icebox for sure. But maybe they were just like, yo, most people in EU, low money, bad computers, make them fucking lag, dude. Play Viper only. Fucking 100 FPS tournament matches. Let's go.
I mean, because that one doesn't make as much. Viper and Bind's always been okay, pretty solid. Do you think Viper's like a good pick, or is that just also EU just kind of playing comfort?
I think Viper's fine. I think in the end, I think that you can read too much into where Viper puts her stuff. Like, Viper is more telegraphed than Omen. Not crazy telegraphed, because you can't read into like, oh, they Viper wall this, or oh, they're gonna hit B, 100%, right? Because you can just always fake it. But it's like you can throw your Omen smokes to fake too, but then you don't have the Omen smokes for your actual execute. And I think that when Jet gets nerfed, Viper won't be played, because Jet smokes is kind of like on Icebox. Like, if you have Omen, where are you gonna smoke anyway? Like, where do you smoke that Viper can't smoke?
When Jet gets nerfed, you think what is going to happen?
I think people aren't going to play Viper as much, because on executes, when you're pushing in hard, you have Jet smoking like these key positions for a few seconds when you're pushing in, so they can't punish. That Omen otherwise would smoke. But when it comes to Icebox,
stay main off, right?
Yeah.
Is there any way Jet falls out? Probably not.
I mean, I hope so. I don't know. She's fun to watch, but she's also overwhelming. And then, like, you think about Icebox, like, Jet fucking owns on Icebox, like, so hard, right? But then you think about Omen, and if you're playing Omen on Icebox, where do you smoke? Like, you're pushing A, where do you smoke?
I don't know.
Where the fuck do you
smoke? Like a bunch of shit.
Yeah, right? And there's too many places, and Jet can smoke all of them. So you're going to default 80% of your smokes on Icebox and just mid. And most of the Viper walls you'll see will just go through middle. But the Viper wall will also go through middle and cut off kitchen window for the mid lurk through, right? And then if you have anyone playing on B, they're going to be afraid of the under tunnel peak and shit. So, like, it makes sense to play it if you want to play the game in a specific way. I think if you play Icebox for another 5 months, I think Omen along with Jet will be better than Viper, or maybe even Viper and Omen, depending on how you want to play it, right? And it makes sense that, like, you have something that works, you have some strategies, you probably, like, I'm sure EU was the same as any, where, like, probably no one was scrimming it for forever because people are only practicing for the qualifiers. And then they started scrimming Icebox, but people weren't very good at it because they didn't play it much. Because, like, we'll still scrim Icebox, and, like, my knowledge on that map from just playing it so much in my in-house and stuff is way ahead of some of these teams that have been scrimming it for a couple of weeks now. And it's just like, if you have something that works, fucking stick to it, and then you play out, because you don't have that much time from the qualifiers, because qualifiers had no Icebox. So as soon as you qualified, you have not long at all to practice Icebox. And then you find something that works that maybe the other teams won't have a lot of practice against. It's probably more worth than excelling at something that the enemy teams will have practice against. Like, yeah, they played against a bunch of Omens, but they won't have played against many Vipers. And then we know how we want to use Viper, so that's probably how that happened, right? It makes more sense that way, because the time is more efficient that way. If you're playing something that not only you can familiarize yourself with, but also playing something that the enemy team will not be familiar with when you do play a match. I think
Sentinels blew their chance. The Sentinels picked it versus, I believe, 100 Thieves. They went up 5-0 to start the map, and then they ended up losing. And then they lose the series 2-1. Like, that was a huge blunder by Sentinels. Like, they picked Icebox. Obviously, 100. No other team was really wanting to play that map.
Yeah.
That should be a win for them. They pretty much threw that.
I mean, you see it all the time. Someone gets five rounds and then they start losing. That's like the magic number in Valorant for some reason. It takes 5 rounds.
It's fucked up because 5 rounds in Valorant means so much more than 5 rounds in Counter-Strike. Even pistol round in Valorant means so much more because the amount of rounds is reduced.
Did you see that 100 Thieves in the finals? 100 Thieves won 7 pistol rounds and TSM won 1. Yeah.
But TSM, terrible on pistols. Awful. Felt like they were just running in and wanted to take duels, and it was just not working. Like, every time. I don't know how you lose 7 of 8 pistols, but you can't win.
Dude,
there's no way you can win a series.
You fucking had rounds where your pistol shots are just going fucking random places. Everyone's had those rounds. That's how this game plays. It's pretty random with jumping, right click classics, full sprint, frenzy spraying.
Stupid as shit. The right click, okay,
it is dumb.
Is fucking crazy. It's ridiculous. It needs to go.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think pistols are fucking stupid. Like, Like, I think pistols are random. And you're probably just better at abusing some of the random things than being good at pistols. Because, like, when you see teams in CS that are good at pistols, they got Kevlars on the right people. They got PT50s and flashes. They know exactly what they're doing. They're really good at, like, taking the map control without using too much utility and taking too many risks. In this game, you see pistol rounds from top teams. Sometimes you just summarize the rounds, so, like, they just ran in and fucking spammed their classics and frenzies with someone with a ghost across the map spamming, hoping to get some headshots. Like, that's how it plays. The game is pretty random, especially the low MR, like low amount of rounds you need to win.
I'm kind of excited to see
It feels
Spider
pretty
on
random.
Phoenix, because I don't really get to see him as this.
Well, I mean,
super
how
aggressive
much
player
more
that
random
Overwatch
is the
touts him to
frenzy
be.
than the
And
early
we're gonna get to
CZ
see
in
that right
CS,
now
which
in
was
VOD with him playing
fucking.
Phoenix.
Remember the French
Styles being
team,
on
NBK
Jet,
and Co. just running around.
Remember
CZs
JW
and
being
headshotting
a
people?
Right now. I love
secondary
Yeah.
weapon op, primary weapon ZZ.
Yeah, it definitely doesn't look like there's
Yeah,
anything
I mean, so that shit was fucking broken as hell for a long
Mendo
time.
Dub.
Is it any worse than that? I mean, I don't know.
I think pistols in this game are fucking miserable. How slow the movement speed is, you can't jiggle peek. The randomness of the ghost, for some reason, the ghost is like 500 and can't one-shot in the head, and even in close range. And then there's shorties for 200. There's classics that will just fucking destroy you. Like, I think pistols are in a really bad... I think shotguns are in a bad place. Stingers should be fucking removed from the game, and pistols need to be reworked. I think ghosts should be free, and classics should cost 500.
Stingers are better than rifles at close range.
Yeah. I mean, if we are on a half buy in scrims, I flame my teammates if they're not buying stingers. Sheriffs are for fucking ego players like myself, and I'm the only one that can buy fucking deagles because I'm a streamer. Everyone else is a stinger because they're just fucking so good.
Gonna let me know that they're gonna play super aggressive at the start, feign some pressure, maybe put pressure on this, Jet.
I think those are probably my two biggest issues. Jumping right click, the stinger. Yeah, I think the frenzy's not great. Being able to do frenzy armor on pistol is...
I think Ghost should, if anything, Ghost should be 400. Classic should not have a right click.
Yeah, no right click. That needs to fucking go. I don't know why they thought that was...
Why create a million corners and then give the default pistol away to one-shot a full armor?
Making sure they can isolate any shenanigans.
There's like no reason to buy ghosts now. It almost feels like I think that was one of the bigger problems for
it's very quiet
for TSM. They bought like 4 ghosts every single.
Yep, Ghost is a streamer gun, dude. I fucking love.
I was like, what the fuck are you doing?
I love Ghost pistol rounds because it feels good when it works. But that's also like you only remember the rounds that feels good, and you just forget about the rounds where you get unlucky. Because like I for a while I said I'm playing Frenzy every fucking pistol round for 2 weeks, and I did not go a single pistol round for 2 entire weeks without getting 1 or more kills. But you see people like even in scrims, like I fucking played a tournament throughout that too. I won, like it wasn't a big tournament or anything, but like every single pistol round I was good for 1 and usually more with Frenzy. With Classic, I'm pretty much always good for 1. With Ghost, it's a fucking hit or miss. Either you get 4 or you get none. You don't even deal damage to someone if they're standing still. Like, it's super random.
As T1
yeah, no armor. You're getting one shot by all of the above anyway.
Yep.
I mean, really, it's only for defense too. I think offense ghosts are pretty dumb as it is.
Both, I think ghosts are better on half buys than on pistol rounds.
There is the option to go back through the TP if they have a lot of.
Then why not just Stinger no armor?
Exactly, because that's literally just better. Stinger does the same shit. He just doesn't wallbang. I love this. I love that. That. Look at that fucking fight. Look at that.
To his advantage, but the site's been given. Nasty stuff there from Daze, the jumping classic to deal with Steel.
You're gonna have to look at the stream. I reminded in Discord. It was just Daze jumping, right clicking into hookah over and over. And that's just like how Steel died, was just Daze just jumping and right clicking 4 times.
Yeah, that's like what is he supposed to do? You can't do anything. And it's even worse because of aim punch in this game. If you're not moving, you're pretty much fucked. But if you are moving full speed, there's no aim punch.
Nitro, time and again, he's been deadly.
Classic is better than Ghost, man. It really is.
Sitting there blind on the site in a very awkward position.
Well, especially because there's so many jump angles. Like every fucking part of every map is like a headshot jump angle.
Like that's the thing. A classic will work when you left click at mid range. But the thing is, a Ghost can never jump right click around a corner. But the classic always has the option to do it. So when you buy a Ghost, you're giving up every single possibility of you putting yourself in a situation to jump right click to get a kill.
Just adapting on the fly. This isn't a thought out strat per se from T1. They're reacting to things that they feel throughout the map, right? And they feel
That's a terrible replay.
a heavy A stack. If they would have went up short A, they would have got demolished by that 3 stack. If they would have went hookah, they would have got demolished. If they would have went shower, there was a trip there waiting, and I'm sure 100 Thieves had a game plan. They did the perfect thing. Honestly, they did the perfect thing. It's just
100 Thieves did a very good job winning their pistol.
Yeah.
It looks like here for
I would like to see some stats on that. I'm sure.
100 Thieves is very good at closing out rounds where T1 loses them a lot. Like they have the rounds like in an advantage and they don't close them out.
What would have happened on pistol round?
Yeah, I remember one round, Days, I think a little bit later on,
This is awesome.
is in like a 1v1 with
seeing
Hiko, I
variations
believe.
of the same thing.
Hiko stuck at elbow.
That's what it's all
Days
about, right?
shoots
Creating a
2
strat
shock
that
darts,
can
plants, and
have
still
all the
dies
different
after.
permutations and
Yeah.
reaction response
And
to
the
be
rest of the
strong
game goes
in
pretty
a
much
huge
after
amount of
that.
situations. So, that just really just explains how good these teams are. And here comes that presence, that pressure from the Showers position. There's a great headshot from Days to kick things off. The long range with the Stinger. It's going to do the job.
Do you
for
think
Nitro for
now difference between like
such a
Phoenix
strong
and Raze
agent
is
to play
just
around the U-Haul
preference
position.
and whoever's
Paranoia's
been
already
practicing on that?
used up
I
though.
think Race is better than Phoenix on this map.
And a 4 versus 4. A reset here from
I think that
T1.
Race deals with more situations better than Phoenix.
Solo?
Huh?
Do you go Omen Flash solo then?
Yeah, that's fine on this map because so think of it like this, right? Like if you're pushing short and you flash sight and then fight U-Haul, you can kind of do similar things by just throwing a grenade that prevents the punish that a flash would like also remove. Like you can throw a nade so they can't swing mid-sight because they have to swing out triple. Or you flash that guy mid-sight and he's just pinned down for the same amount of time, right? He can't swing into a nade and he can't see when he's flashed. I think you lose a certain play that's really good. Is the biggest thing you really lose is the flash pop on B long defense. If you're defense and long and you flash and peek that and fight them, right? That's a super fucking good play. And flashing out hookah, but you can still do that with an Omen if you do it well enough. You just got to be really like good on conditioning the enemy into like not expecting it. So you just like the flash comes when you need it.
Yeah, Nitro plays.
Nerd camera up there.
I know he plays
he's gonna
on
be hard
U-Haul.
to get out.
Yeah.
So he was doing that pretty much the whole time.
Getting
Yeah,
steal
that's
out
true.
of this corner is going to be very, very.
But it does seem
difficult
risky
for
to having to rely on your Omen to win
Good timing on
the flash or.
recon there. The cam
But the nades are just like you get kills through smokes with arrows, you get those grenade kills, the room information, but being able to contest like shower and hookah and long on your own as Wraith without needing backup is worth so much more than a flash in some of those situations. Yo, Mike, think of the 19 months. I'm predicting the 9. Or you think the 6. It's champion with the 9. Zen, fuck you. Riz, take the 6.
Nitro with the classic. We'll finish him off, and 100 Thieves. It actually looked a little bit scary, I gotta say. Good effort from T1, creating some damage at the beginning and then trying to reset to make it even worse for 100 Thieves.
Early on in this match, Dan, I get the feeling that T1 has a very, very good idea that 100 Thieves likes to run this setup. You can see Spider went to the edge of showers and he just threw a pointless flash out. But that flash wasn't pointless. It actually made Austin a nade short and shift the entire setup.
What do you think about third round up? Is it at this point always worth it to save for third round up, even if you lose pistol?
Yeah, I think so.
Even if you lose pistol.
Over 100 rounds, like over 100 matches, Dicey will get pistol kills, have ult ready for the round after this, be able to save the op as well for the next round if it's a half buy or an eco. I think it's super worth because he is best with the op, obviously. So it's not only that the op is good, but he is good with the op as well.
This is only on defense, or do you think third round op offense?
I think it's map. I think offense op on this map fucking sucks. But offense op, if you want to do an Ascent or like Haven, fuck yeah, third round. On this map, I'd rather have a stinger.
You know, I mean, you have like maybe 2 teammates with bonus round inspectors or whatever, and then you're buying an op, and then if you lose the round, you're giving defense the op.
Okay, if they have specters, then that sucks. If they have stingers, then it's literally better than a rifle. Like, it's true because if you have rifles and an op in your team, like if you have rifles on B, you have rifles on A, and you have 1 or 2 stingers, you just put those stingers in the positions where they're fucking insane, right? Like you put the stinger in the right spot where there's no downside to having a stinger fighting U-Haul or close short, then the stinger is fucking better than a rifle. It is every single time, right? But that only works if you have rifle teammates because they hold like the long angles that the stinger can't really hold. So that's why literally it's good to have stingers. Like even on full buy rounds, like it doesn't end up happening very often. But on these rounds, when you plan them out, you have like specific strats inside of your bonus rounds. You're probably guaranteed a stinger kill, like if you play it right.
For information, and the trips act as additional players. So you can see that's causing Under Thieves to play 3 people at this A site. Oh, this
Jurgen, thank you so much for the 18 months. AC was saying nice stuff about you. Okay, he got spammed through a smoke. But if he lived in that smoke, it's like he'll get a kill.
I mean, he gets a huge clutch play in a little bit to pretty much seal the game. Did you watch this live, or are you watching it right now?
No, this one I didn't watch live. I watched some of the maps live, but I tried to like not pay too much attention to them so I could see the strats on stream and analyze them.
To hold if you want to have a retake.
Because I like reacting to the fucking dumbass plays that happens, the 4Ks and shit.
Position is now known, so he's lost the element of surprise, and it comes down to either Steel or Dicey finding some picks, some
I had a feeling that TSM would win the finals, and then I saw 100 Thieves play.
Really no way that they can force the issue.
I can't remember what. Yeah, and I was like, yeah, 100 Thieves is probably winning the finals. That's what I said.
I mean, that was like TSM's map. That was TSM's map pick. That
it was their map pick, and then he go pug the Raze and just fucking. Yeah. Sub Rosa Raze ult, not looking too hot.
Well, I mean, when we get to the finals, I cannot describe how much I do not like triple duelists. I mean, I understand it's because you got Drone on Phoenix. You got Sabrosa on Raze. They're fragging out. I think Sabrosa switches to Reyna. One map, and yeah, they're fragging out. You expect them to frag out, but when they don't, and you don't have a Sentinel to be able to give you info, it's so brutal. I just don't like it. I mean, even though I don't even like some of the other things they did. They put Cutler on Sky one map.
They put Sky on Bind, and I played Sky, and at this point I'm pretty fucking good with Sky. And when I got asked today, like, what about playing Sky on Bind in scrims? And I said, I am literally never playing that character on Bind. It is so bad on Bind. And I was so surprised to see TSM play it on Bind, because I think it's dog shit. I think she's just a worse Sova with flashes that you can barely get info with on this map, because there's just so many corners.
Look at the investment here from both teams. Into showers
I mean, I kind of like it again. Like, you know, do whatever. Experiment, but it just seemed like it was not the play.
Yeah, but something that T1 knows from
I don't know. Did they sub out Sova for that one? I think that was on.
They know that.
What was it on Bind?
They just had at showers. They know someone has to be watching.
Was that subbed out? So I don't remember. I just remember seeing Sky.
So this is all on Steel for the next probably 10 seconds.
Yeah, Sky was on Bind.
Cross unless Spawn gets smoked off. He doesn't really know what's
going on. And they played without Sova. That seems really fucking stupid. Is that just me?
I think that it makes sense because you have the
so good that he needs to be played on every map.
His ult doesn't. I think Sova ult only matters against Killjoy. His ult is a bonus. His basic signature ability is just too powerful to not have on maps like this. Look, that's what the fucking Raze does, dude. The nade is just too good.
Again, another frag coming his way. It's starting to look horrendous.
I still think her nade is too overpowered. I think her nade needs to be nerfed. But then also, like, you nerf her nade, she has no identity anymore.
I mean, what else can you nerf, really?
She has nothing. If you nerf her grenade, she's not going to ever get played. You nerf her rocket too much, it already sucks. Her rocket's pretty fucking bad. It's just a dumb ult now. Like, you just suicide to get a guaranteed kill.
Then as soon as that smoke's fading, you see the boom bot hit the
Maybe she doesn't. What do you think about the refresh on 2-kill?
On nade, it doesn't matter. Like, you only need the one nade. Like, just think of it like this. Like, if you're playing split offense and you want to take B main control at the start of a round, what character does it better than Raze just standing there, freeze time ends, throw a grenade, waits in there, and then she has control of B main on split, right? Every single time. Yeah. With this free ability, even on ecos, you can just like completely take control. And if you go for a peek and commit to it, you're just going to get punished. You're just going to get killed. You're isolated. You're on an island. Like, no other character can do that. You throw a molly from Killjoy, someone will shoot it. You throw a molly from Phoenix, they can still sit in the molly and kind of take a few shots and then leave out. But the grenade will just kill you and aim punch you. So you can't post in it and take the damage.
Yeah, the only one else I saw was Heretics double B push with Sage. Like they would slow and then wall, but it was more. It's more defensive to get orb and take map control than it is to do damage straight off.
Here to be as we get
I mean, same purpose, but I definitely the raise.
But it's cheaper. It's literally free to do it as raise, and it has kill potential. If you peek B main and you get stuck in a nade, you're 130 health down. If you get slowed, you just don't peek.
And that's going to also cause a lot of problems. Dicey trying to dodge it. He does.
Do you feel like it's possible that Saya player is the best player on T1? I mean, I gotta say, he was. Let me check the stats.
Spot to play their retake.
It's hard to say because they all have different roles to fill.
That's pretty huge.
Like Skadoodle gets way more entries with ops and like gets those peaks, and Brax is a way better anchor because when Brax plays his anchor spots, he's good for 3 so often. You know, he just gets his 3Ks. I think if you're just talking about generalized situations, I think Spider just plays most situations really well, right? Like he doesn't put himself in a specific position as often as Brax does. Brax excels in his positions, but Spider will just get kills. He's just a fragger. He's an Overwatch player. Like,
and this is just
I mean, I thought he played quite well.
no,
I mean,
he's super good. He's super good. But like, would I want Spider anchoring a site or Brax? You know, I would want Brax anchoring a site.
Yeah, for sure.
T1 realized, they recognized that. They did a deep smoke.
Well, that and Brax has been playing Cypher like
played
the whole time.
aggressively. The tag allowed Spider to get a
Not really any choice anyway.
That sequence was,
I mean, definitely T1 is underperformed. They definitely played better this tournament. They had opportunity to beat.
Yeah, I mean, that's the biggest thing. Is like you're looking at their Haven game. How fucking perfect their retakes are did not match up with their round performance after they won 9 retakes in a row without even like losing kill. Like they always have the flanks, they have the fucking util, they have the ults that they need for each single site, and then they're in a post plant and they can't stop a retake when they're that good at retakes. It doesn't match up, right? And when they just don't mess up those like rounds they should be winning, 100 Thieves or T1 is gonna be really fucking good, like really good.
A lot of emphasis placed on showers so far from T1 on these opening rounds kind of scenarios, and we'll have to see if that impacts how 100 Thieves play this in the following rounds.
Do you still feel like the AMP is still dictating games?
Yep.
You do?
I started opping again. That is so stupid, dude. The op is so stupid.
Price is so high now. It's hard to buy them all the time.
Yeah, but the gun itself is still fucking busted.
I mean, bro.
It's too easy to use, and it's fucking stupid. And then it doesn't feel fun to use. It's just super powerful.
What do you want them to do to make it any worse than it is? They already nerfed it, right?
They increase base movement speed across the board, so you can fucking shoulder peek.
Oh, dude, I'm all great. I'm with you. They're not doing that though.
Uncap, make it so you can b-hop and actually gain speed. B-hopping holding W because you don't lose speed should not be as good as hitting perfect B-hops and not holding W.
That was so cool.
I think that would be great. I do think increasing the movement a little bit would be very helpful.
God, poor AZ.
Decrease how bullet tagging too, so you don't get slowed as much. I think how much you get slowed should be based on what gun you're holding when you get shot.
Right now, it's just based on how fast you're moving, I think.
Right now, it's just you're fucking being shot by Balloon's tower defense Frost Monkey whenever you get shot anywhere by any gun.
No, but if you're already in bunny hop movement, you don't take as much tagging.
I think mid-air velocity counts different, yeah. But like if you're moving, swinging, walking, you just get way too slowed.
But how is this that tagging is so bad, but running and shooting is also? How big of a problem do you think running and shooting is?
Oh, dude. Dude. It is so stupid. That shit is fucking broken. Because the guns are random. So you sometimes you just have equal chance killing someone full sprinting, but way bigger chance surviving after the first kill as you do if you just go for a swing and stop, and you'll guaranteed get traded. If you're just running and spraying, you have the equal chance to get the first kill, but way better chance to live. It should never, running and shooting should never be beneficial, like objectively beneficial, right? It should be like, it's a dumb thing. If you see people do it in CS, it's fucking stupid. But in this game, you'll have people like pushing smokes. They'll just be spraying before they're even through and just running and just like spraying the corners, like full sprinting.
The intention was to specifically not have this happen.
Yep.
Oh, there's that 1v1. If he picked
Why
very afraid right there for his opposition.
Why is it happening? Is it because the spray is random? Like, is it with any gun right now? You think it's worth doing?
I do it with Vandal. I do it with Phantom. I do it with Ares. I do it with Spectre. I do it with Stinger. I do it with Frenzy. I do it with Classic. And I do it with shotguns, obviously, but that doesn't matter.
At this stage of the game is
okay, you just named every gun in the game. So
I didn't name Odin. I didn't name Ghost. I didn't name Deagle.
Right.
Well, it's because if you're spraying, like running and shooting, if you don't get shot, you'll still have a good chance of killing them. But then if you get tagged, as you get slowed, your accuracy increases. But your movement doesn't stop, but your accuracy significantly gets better, so you can run and shoot, get tagged, get the kill from when you got slowed and shot, and live with half your health and keep running and shooting. And, you know? But even then, if you don't get tagged, depending on the gun and the range, like, you'll still get kills. Not as often. But it's just the fact that, like, if I get shot running and shooting, odds are they're not going to one-shot me, and it'll be harder for them to trade me, easier for my teammates to trade me, but because I think it's like a curve, right? Like as you get slower, the accuracy increases, basically.
Yeah. And from the tagging, it actually
makes it even better than it already is. Because if someone shoots you, you're gonna get the kill. Like, it's gonna happen.
They want to address the op situation and make movement speed higher. Isn't that gonna even make running and shooting worse?
Well, yeah, because if you have higher movement speed, then your gun is gonna be more inaccurate.
So you're gonna slightly help the op situation and make every
No. If you buff movement speed, if you run faster, that means your gun will be more inaccurate. You'll have less accuracy when you're running and shooting if your movement speed is higher. It's like a curve, right?
Oh, yeah, but then you could have fucking people like, you know, you'll have Foon flying down maps and shit and just getting into your face. Like
Has anyone ever thought Foon was a bad thing to have in a game?
No, and that shit's not really happens. That doesn't happen in pro play, but...
And if it does, when you do see that crazy run boost timing break, everyone talks about it. But also then, if it does happen in a Valorant Pro match, it's more of an impact to lose a round than it is in CS, right? Like if you lose a round to CS, it's like, whatever, one round on its own. But one round in Valorant is pretty big. But I don't know, the thing is like, you buff movement speed, and then change the dead zone on the accuracy, you deal with ops, you remove the fucking Stinger, first of all, like just delete it from the game. It's not an MP9. It's too good in close, mid, and long range because for some reason it's just no, it's not. Have you seen? I see pro players killing rifles with a burst, or even just like a.
I remember Steel trying to flank on, I think it was like a Sen yesterday, and he like came up behind with a Stinger and did like 20 damage to 2 people.
Yeah, and you say that's Stinger or is that Steel? Steel's 45 years old, dude. Like, you watch Asuna flanking on a Stinger, I bet you gets killed, you know?
Steel fucking carried.
Yeah, Steel. I think in the finals, Steel was my MVP.
Yeah, he carried that first match. He played really well on Bind. He was pushing out of long and shit, being really aggressive. He's bullying the shit out of Sabrosa. Like he was making Sabrosa's life so painful on Bind. Didn't do as well in the 2 maps, but definitely he's playing really well.
Dude, NA stream cannot, like the bitrate's so low, you cannot show the player crosshairs. They need a default big ass crosshair because you just can't see them sometimes.
Well, I mean, isn't it cool though? You get to see the player's crosshair.
Yeah, and then where's the fucking crosshair on Spider? It's just a little dot. Like the pixelation is just so bad.
Oh, I see what you mean. You just can't do it because.
It's about time in the match.
Because the bitrate's low. Yeah, the stream quality is low.
How do you
uniqueness? I think they gotta try
this
that.
take of showers? How do they look at B? And it looks like they're not doing.
Wait, Hiko has a classic on this buy.
Super passively in B. They're gonna
no, it's the UI, right?
They're gonna give up hookah. They're gonna give up long control.
It's just a shitty UI.
No, I
Sometimes it says
I don't think he had enough money for a gun.
How do they handle it? Well, there you go, Sean.
Was it all pistol?
No, it's. I think he dropped for someone, and he has ult, so he's playing his ult. Because he's playing like really far back CT. He's out on a lineup, so I don't think he has a rifle. We haven't spectated him yet, though.
No, man, I'm pretty sure it's fun. I guess we'll
that's
see.
a big difference. That's a massive difference. That drone gets hardly any information. Before they were almost entering with the drone.
UI shows active weapon? No, it doesn't. Look, I can show you right here. Dace is holding a knife. UI shows a rifle.
They were almost entering with the drone. Now it's only to get shower control. So how does T1 react now?
And with that shower control, ultimately Spider just picked up his ultimate. So he's got run it back now because of that ult that he just collected. So that might make the difference here, given that that's the only ult available for T1 in this round.
It's still,
and
even if he doesn't have a rifle, this is still a good buy. Because if they win this round, it's way better for them than if the enemy team wins this round because of where the economy's at.
It would appear, and 100 Thieves, they're not actually, they're pushing short A at this point.
I think they can break here. I wasn't paying full attention though.
Comes the push. There's the run it back.
Right? There's no, you can't see the economy.
He needs to get information.
I don't even know what the fuck.
Oh, he has a rifle.
Yeah,
I guess he got dropped and never actually equipped it pre-round, so it didn't update the UI.
Yes, that's what happened. The UI is broken and fucked up. That wasn't good. I mean, Asuna can't die there. But nah, it doesn't seem to matter. This is real.
Nitro and Steel are so good at flanking. They alternate it.
Okay, fine, I understand. But if you're T1, you had sight control, you kill Asuna there, an elbow, you need to plant the fucking bomb. You cannot let a flank long deny the bomb plant.
This is what I said. I think if T1 didn't have Cypher holding flanks, they wouldn't get flanked. Because they're relying on the trips, but you can just TP past them or walk the long way around or take a TP. So if they played it like they played CS and they have protocol to hold the flank, I don't think these would happen because they're all obviously really fucking good. And they were just saying like flank is clear because no one took hook a TP and it's still tripped. The trips aren't broken, right? That's what they're saying. But there's a small gap and like Nitro still has it open. So this shouldn't happen.
No.
But wow. I think Steel and Nitro are just so good at flanking because one round Steel would do it and then Nitro does it, so they don't know who to look for. Like you play a team and like, oh, their Cypher always lurks. The lurks are never gonna work, right? But somehow they keep catching them off guard. And it's not like, yeah, T1 shouldn't let it happen, but I also think that Nitro and Steel are super fucking good at it because like Nitro puts himself in really like weird positions sometimes where he has ult and bomb. So he smokes and flashes a sight and then teleports onto the other side across the map to plant. And sometimes we see Nitro and Steel both together on a flank spot and one of them leaving. So like, and then the other one staying. So like if they see or hear like, oh, the flanker just left to go mid. And then there's another one there. Like we saw it on Haven too. They're so smart about it. They just like swap out who does it.
I mean, they were playing T1 CS, so their timing is really...
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Just as he has done so many times in this series so far, and that is so devastating. What a beautiful play.
I mean, I think if T1 wins that round,
Nitro sweeps in.
They have a very good chance they go up 7-5.
Yeah, 100% for sure. Because I think they break 100 Thieves money there if T1 wins.
But now it's just so bad. I mean, they save their guns, but there's no money bonus. They pretty much have to win now.
Such an incredible series.
Also, this is something that like players use, and I'm not saying like you shouldn't show yourself, but if T1 also doesn't show Brax on the execute, if Brax just hides, then Nitro can't flank that fast because he has to respect the possibility that Brax is hiding, holding the flank somewhere. But when you see all 5 players, you know you can just run through the entire fucking map. Like, it doesn't matter how loud you are until you're close to sight, right? But if you only show 4 or 3, or only show the util from 4, and maybe, like, the 5th is never visible, but is holding something, that's, like, a huge difference, because then Nitro, he's going to respect the fact that Brax might be just in a fucking corner holding something.
I would think that T1 probably likes their 5-man executes. I mean, Dave's like,
yeah, Dave's really likes his executes, and they do them really well. Their retakes are literally executes at that point too. Like their retakes are so clean, and their executes are as well. Their post plants aren't as good. Their retakes don't need post plants; they just need to defuse and then win. That's why they're so good at retakes.
I believe this is the Dave's.
I'll sub if you dab on cam as hard as you can right now.
I think T1 players are overextending in their duels a lot too.
And this is just an absolute brawl for the site. And again, Nitro, he always finds the back of somebody. Dazed, able to equalize just for a moment.
To me, this feels like he has bomb. He knows where Dicey is.
He has drone. He could drone right here.
Like, I don't like any of this.
Like this arrow, go into backside and drone elbow.
You can go A or elbow. You can do any of the above.
He should stick it too. Like he should not whiff that as well.
Yeah,
He knows where he is. If he drones him right here, he gets the tag. He buys him time to guarantee a plant.
I hate this plant though. He has time to plant safe. All he's doing is exposing, and then he pushes the op. Like, I don't... I mean, I know he's trying to get the timing because he shoots the shot dart first, but that feels like he needs to play
like what he can do right there. If he's tucked in the corner or at all, like, okay, he's not in the CT hall, he throws his drone out and just flies it at elbow in a spot where if he gets pushed CT, he'll hear it. That's all. That's super good because if he gets the tag on Dicey, that's 3 ticks, guaranteed plant with, and he doesn't have to worry about him going the other side. Like he'll know if he's still elbow or not. Like here, he has to walk out from the plant just in case he's about to get flanked from CT. In case Dicey just knifed out and walked. But if he gets a tag and then plants, he doesn't have to worry about that and he can just play a post plant like so much safer. That's when droning is really good. Like he can drone and just buy time by hovering the drone in the open. And then arrowing the clear one side to like, okay, he's guaranteed elbow right now. I can just fucking go CT.
Ready in hand, but they're actually pretty deep. He's gonna swing straight into Spider, who is.
I didn't like Nitro going into that smoke.
Oh my god. Rocket flying through the showers as well. The aggression through the showers TP.
You think aggressive shower control necessary?
Oh, I think it's good. I don't think that like doing it this round on its own like matters that much. I think it's a play you should do because you don't want the enemy team to think like okay, you know, 100 Thieves is never gonna contest showers, right? It's all about like showing them like, yeah, we're fucking double dashing down short to pinch you showers. We don't care. We'll take TPs. I don't give a fuck. That's like, it's important to like condition them into being worried about it. At this level, I don't really think that 100 Thieves would ever go like, or T1 would ever go like, oh, 100 Thieves is never gonna push showers. Let's just walk in there with our knife out. But you want to think of it like that, where like you do it the one round, so they'll expect it the second time. So like they'll be worried about the next time you have raised ult. It's at the end of the half, so it won't matter much here. But
Seal taking his time. That is huge. The neural theft. It's the perfect time. They get info. 2 players in showers, and then 2 players around the short position. And APC, Steel, he's going to be able to make some forward movement there, claiming more space on the site, creating more pressure. And Dicey, oh, the jump knife's not going to work out for him. T1 defending excellently. And that's going to be 5-7. You said they needed this round, Sean, and they're going to get it.
So, I mean, just some missed opportunities. This should be
7-5 T1.
They were winning rounds pretty consistently, even though
they go up 9-3, Haven. You know, they had several opportunities to put this away.
Yeah.
I don't remember how
I know you like the poker references. This seemed like they just pushed all in that round on an aggressive
Yeah, like the UI stays all fucked up, shows 2-11 off, and
yeah.
Done that yet the entire half.
I don't know.
Looks like T1 adapted on the
You would think
fly
they would fix that
perfectly.
shit.
Like the positioning of Spider in the showers to catch, I think it was Nitro coming through the dark cover. It couldn't have been a better position.
But thinking about it wasn't long ago that this game only had 2 observer spots. Like,
and it's probably gonna come in real fast.
It's gone a long way in a short time.
Days there with that recon die. He's gonna spot everything pretty much.
So Brax has a classic, but we can't see because he hasn't actually equipped it yet. That's so weird.
I think it's just fun. Steel's classic actual aim is really good.
Going in for more. The frenzy close range. He's only going to be able to get the 1 though.
Frenzy's the best pistol in the game. On pistol rounds.
Yeah, I agree.
This is an interesting smoke. It must have been a miss smoke because it doesn't look good.
Quite nicely for him. as he tries to hold on to this. And they're very low. The players coming onto his position. That is so awesome to see from Brax.
Oh, that elbow push was necessary too. It was a necessary push.
Why?
Because they were getting flanked. If you look at the map. So when they're in, yeah, so they get flanked. So Sova is holding there, and then one's probably like they have a CT like pinch. So if they get this guy, they should have killed him, honestly. Like, they really should have killed Brax here. So if they kill Brax, they take elbow, they have one in CT, and they have Hiko fighting for his life in hookah. They have all of B side control, and they can go A.
I feel like you wait till that smoke clears. It was going down like a half second.
He definitely, wasn't that dead cage, though? Didn't they cage that to push through?
Trying to play this
Steel caged it to push through. And if it's a rifle round, I agree, but pistols is like jumping right click is fucking broken, so that's what you go for. They were both low, so if they just take the normal peak, I actually think the chance of them dying is higher than if they jump through it at the same time.
Yeah. As we go into the 2 versus 2, but the advantage in health at least is certainly with AZK and Skadoodle of Team
I still have the kill record, HMK.
Right now, they also have the advantage because they're playing the defense. It's up to 100 Thieves to make their way forward, to reclaim that spike on elbow and find a way to get it planted. This is not going to be easy for them.
This is definitely an insanely difficult situation that T1 finds themselves in.
100 Thieves loses this.
On 100 Thieves is so
like, there's no way they win this.
No hell. It's just not happening.
Look at that, though. That's a mid-range fucking jumping right-click headshot, and he...
Right-click from, like a year away.
Did he have armor? Yeah, they both have armor. AZK would die here if he didn't have armor. He lived with 21 health.
That's from long to the to below hookah. That's ridiculous. I think this is where T1 throws. I believe this is like a stinger force, and they just run them over.
If they had an extra second, I think they would have been okay.
Well, I love the timing from Steel coming up along B right there.
What do you feel? How do you feel about like Sentinels, for example? They were saving every.
It's super unlikely.
Every pistol loss. They spent no money to full buy gun round.
I think it depends on what team you're against. If you know that the enemy team likes playing pistols, like Ska, like versus T1, I would save.
This is the classic move, isn't it, from Dicey?
Versus T1, I would save. Versus I think it depends on the map too, but some teams buy rifles, some teams play 2 pistols and a bulldog, and then you'd rather take your force, like your SMG round, versus a fair SMG round where you actually might have an advantage in terms of just winning that round. And then if you do live through to round 3 or like buy pistols in round 3, you'll kill rifles instead of bonus round SMGs on round 3. So if you want to play like that, where you take that like 50-50, you lose, you play your pistols and stuff for round 3, and you know you're doing it just to like, okay, yeah, we might lose round 2, but the kills we get on round 3 will be rifle kills, so they'll be super expensive deaths for the enemy team.
Too much to deal with at this point.
Though. That's so risky.
Oh, it's Stinger, dude. It's risky, but Stingers are OP. If you force Stinger on bind and you win the round, you literally just got yourself a pistol round win. It's a 50-50 round, and you get yourself 3 rounds off that 1 round win. It's literally just another. Think of it like another pistol round if the money ends up being in that place.
This is a huge.
And what ends up happening now, and I think we'll probably see it from T1, it's like you have like 2 shit guns, then you have a glass cannon, and you have 2 rifles.
But look at this, it's gonna be a
yeah. This is what you should run your bonus. I think what T1 does, so they can save their op if they don't get a pick. He needs to dash. Skadoodle needs to dash.
He did throw there. That is
like this. If it was another round, if it was a 5 versus 5, whatever. But on bonus, you need to hold the op the next round.
Yeah, you have to. It's so bad.
We'll see if they can find a different way to recover this position.
Your money fucked so poorly. The enemy, the team has the op now. You've already like lost this round. You know?
He also gave an op to Dicey if he wants it, without having to buy one.
Yeah.
Offense op sucks on bind though, I think.
I mean that's the 3rd round op, but if he's gonna play aggressive like that, he has to dash. He cannot.
That was greedy. It was just a greedy play.
You want to see in a situation like this. When you're playing against so much.
This feels unwinnable, Dan.
It does. It really does.
But now Dicey has an op. And like, Ops
T1's
on
broke.
offense bind op isn't great, but when you get it for free, fuck yeah.
Yes.
What's good for holding,
That was a
you know,
really
the
good jiggle
orbs.
peek coming
Yeah,
out of the
well,
shower
what I
there.
want to see him like when you play ops on offense bind, you have setups for the op to get into a spot where they just get insane info and a high chance of getting a kill, right? You get him posted like in showers looking back truck. You get him posted long looking right side sight.
There actually was.
But he's probably gonna just take the shower peek. You're probably gonna push him in and get him on an aggro peek.
Wait, do they not show the armor? Am I blind?
No, so the armor is the extra bar of health, the red bar on the left and right. Like,
Oh yeah.
so AZK has 125, Daze is 150. That's the armor.
Like, do you feel like T1 should save here after that, or do they? Do you think that the buy straight up again is the right call?
I don't think it's. I think the buy would be fine if Ska had ult. That was a risky play. It worked, but if Ska has ult there, it's totally fine. They should win this though.
It does work because they're probably not expecting a triple shower. But
he needs to do some damage here. That is the objective. Keep the economy pressure going. Don't allow T1 to leave this round with too many weapons.
Is it just me, or does it feel like the full armor isn't as necessary a lot of the time?
It's not. You get aim punched either way. Like,
and you're getting headshot either way too.
Yeah, you'll get one shot either way. Especially on bind, armor is worth less than on Haven, because most of your fights are in closer ranges. So you won't sure have a dink.
No, Daze was all over.
And if you're not going B long and swinging at the back of long, then why have full armor?
Here we are, 8-8.
Yeah.
That was
it's also like if I have 150 armor, I live through a round, I take 20 damage at 130. I don't renew it on bind.
No, I don't either. I think that's really dumb that teams are spending money on head armor or full armor.
Layers to these teams in this game. Just the amount of growth that these two teams have had.
Though I guess most people were still using Phantom over AK.
It's actually incredible.
So maybe it kind of works out.
No, Phantom still fucks you up. Like it depends. Obviously, it depends on the map. On Icebox, yeah, you want armor because you get wall banged a lot from like corners that are metal where you live through like very easily. And then Phantom's long range, like usually you fight Vandals, and if you do get shot by Phantom, you have the health to just live through.
But Asuna with that rocket.
You know something that 100 Thieves does a lot? They fight hookah to the fucking death. They fight until they're dead in hookah. If they're defending it or holding it or are pushing it, they fight until they're dead, right? Like, they don't really go half and half and like fall back after a pick. They fight it and then they go.
I mean, it's so important. Hookah or you call.
That's why Raze is so good on bind, because you have one Roomba, you can clear left side, you bounce it off the wall, and then one nade on the right side. The box on entire right side is clear. You literally just cleared hookah by yourself. And then, if you know right side shot the Roomba, someone's playing left side, you throw the nade left side, he has to swing you. Or you throw the one right side with a flash, you just kill the left guy. Like, Raze does that so well.
You feel like double telly there from T1 was the throw?
No, it's. I think it's good. I think it would be better if they had different characters alive.
Man, Asuna continues to have so much success.
I mean, is it really good though? If you know that 100 Thieves likes hookah control, why do you run right into them?
Because you do it 10 times, it'll work 6, right? Like, and then if 100 Thieves has Raze, right? So they're going to pressure hookah a lot. So you want the Raze to be scared of the TP, because if she overextends and fights for that and gets that kill, she's scared that the TP will come and kill her, right? Because that'll happen. Like, it happens a lot in a lot of pro matches. You see that happen. So it's like a conditioning thing too. Like, you want to make sure, like, yeah, we'll fucking TP on you. We don't care. You can't just throw your nade and take hookah for free every round. How the fuck did Asuna get over here without getting spotted? Oh my god. That entry is so good. Maybe not with bomb, but you know, you know, it's still a good entry.
They claimed the bomb and the spike, and they're going to make their way through the TP straight to B. Spider already was on the flank through market, so you can't really stop this. They will get time to plant the spike. They will get time to set up post-plant.
Oh no, Danhiko has the Hunter's Fury at long. He's moving to elbow though. Will they expect 2 players to be elbow? They might.
I like this, the double up elbow.
Spider
yeah.
is right now.
Either they double swing it, or they just swing one and then let him die and then hide. And yeah, this is good. He needs to get this spider kill.
2v1 is not good. You'd rather 3v2.
I don't think so. I think that the 2v1 here is actually better odds than the 3v2. Because if they play 3v2 and bunker up and elbow, then there's going to be one CT and one elbow, and they're just going to get pinched. Like, they could get pushed from either direction. And then I think that was more manageable than 3v2, just because it's bind.
Dude, T1 through this series. I mean, just rewatching this game back.
Dude, Daze was in my chat, and he was watching the first 9 rounds of Haven, and then he said, I gotta leave here. I don't want to watch it crumble. Peace.
That could have gone his way. That was so
He's right, because like they had Haven, and they had this map first half. They blew 2 rounds. They blow like the Skadoodle shower round, you know, first gun round. They have, you know, more money right now going into this round. They have advantage. It feels like they really should have won this 2-0.
I feel like Daze puts the team into a good spot to win the rounds, but the team doesn't always close it out the way they should. And then Skadoodle, I think Skadoodle is insane, but too much rides on whether or not he gets an entry.
Relying on having Nitro,
like when yeah, Dicey's had rough rounds, you know, where he just doesn't get kills or like rough games, but the team does pretty well even if he doesn't. But if Skadoodle dies with an op, I feel like it's a bigger detriment to the team than if Dicey dies with an op. Not because either of them are less skilled, just like 100 Thieves has a higher chance in a 4v5 than I think T1 has in a 4v5.
Oh, Spider giving up the early first blood to Asuna. That's an early 5-on-4.
Maybe that just like, it also like looks like this is good. Like Ska got his kill, but Ska held that angle the entire round. And if Steel didn't just walk out there, then Ska wouldn't have gotten that kill, and he would have had an op for the retake, you know? Where Dicey goes for the fucking swing out mid, huge ass fucking whips out his cock and just slaps her in their face, you know? And it works. It works because Dicey hits his shots, and I think Scott would hit his. He did that on Haven actually. Scott did take aggro peeks on Haven. He got a lot of kills doing it, like short and long A, but he wouldn't move away from that side. Dicey's all over the map when he does it.
Not too much in the way of ultimates. ACK has paranoia still. That could be huge.
This is just kind of unlucky for Daze. He gets, I think, hit by the drone at the very last second.
He was droning, and I think he got tagged by something. I think he got tagged by an arrow that went into CT.
Yeah.
And because his teammate, who wasn't droning, didn't break the arrow, Daze died.
Yeah. Then that was kind of the round right there.
Able to defend, able to trade. And once again, it just goes down to the wire. 100 Thieves barely creeping ahead of T1 at this point. 10-9. As you said before, Sean, Hiko.
See, here we're seeing a replay from a different POV, aren't we?
He's always good
nope.
for one, right?
Nope, that was the same POV.
Everything was the same, are you sure?
I'm like 99% sure, yes, that the...
Maybe it was, yeah.
That the replays are the same. We do not get different POV.
Shower control again, it's so sketchy for both
this here too. If you look at him taking shower control here, this is something only Raze can do. Raze sends the Roomba, it gets info, right? So now Asuna knows someone's in here. He throws a nade, and 50-50 Ska either goes to the other side of shower and will die, or he has to fall back and give up shower control with one grenade, and he has full control here. He doesn't have a flash, but like Phoenix would throw the molly and a flash to do this, so like you would have used the same amount of util at this point. But Raze can always fucking satchel out or satchel peek corners and stuff.
Oh, he does get countered by. I mean, that was a pretty nice play by T1 here.
Yeah, no, that was a fucking really good play.
But they kind of throw.
Yeah, they just leaked kills that they shouldn't have leaked.
They've seen this play before. The showers crunch from the defense.
I mean, they go 2 for 3, not terrible, but then Daze has to kill one there, and
Mendo.
And then that's it.
Nothing left to guesswork.
I mean, T1 shower aggressions actually worked out pretty well.
Yeah.
We'll tell them everything. And now Brax is alone with a frenzy.
Oh, the Jones saw him, huh? They know. Yeah.
And there's not much you can do about that one.
That's a really clean 3-man peek. What do you do against that? You're just dead.
It really is. the recon to force AZK in the open. I thought
Scott
Daze was
doesn't push there, maybe.
his
They just needed someone, like, they just needed, like, when he throws the nade, they just need to swing so the Omen Flash doesn't get everything, and then they're fine. Like, if one gets into the right side of shower, then... So here we have the same lineup.
Didn't they just save? Am I, like, going insane?
It's because they're trading wins. If they lost every round, they would be buying every round. Because win-loss round, like, and win bonus and loss bonus, that works.
But they go 2 rounds in a row with, like, pistol. You can't go 9-10 and 9-11 with no fucking gun. Right? I mean, don't you do one or the other? You either full save on 10 and you buy 11.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, I don't know. That's the. I mean, I know then you only have really 1 round to play with. If you give up 10, you play at 11, you lose 11, you play 12 with people again. You're kind of fucked. So
they probably like made a call for a round, and then they were like, "Fuck, we might as well just save for last."
100 Thieves has now built an economy. They built their ults up. Hiko, I just saw, got his Hunter's Fury again. It feels like he just had it.
What the fuck happened to that nade? That was a glitched bounce. Like, that shit should not go that way. So weird.
It's gonna be a difficult 3 rounds.
That should piss me off. When I played Sova, that should piss me the fuck off.
And you can see it's gonna start at showers right now. I think.
yeah, a lot of glitched arrow, a lot of glitched shit. Things bounce weird as fuck. Not supposed to.
But this is just a straight.
I feel like Spider was carrying the shit out of T1, and then he made a few over-aggressive plays later on in the important round. He was like first to die, even though for most of the map he was like carrying the team.
On Hookah has been something that T1 have really enjoyed running. I fear Spider will die before the running.
He had some crazy fucking rounds on the other half for sure. I think he's just playing Phoenix, so it doesn't work as well on this side of the map. Like, he has 2 flashes thrown now. He couldn't peek off of either of them. What now? He has a molly in the wall. Like, he doesn't have. He has his ult. Is he gonna use it? Probably not.
He ends up as top frag of the game for both teams.
I don't know what 100 Thieves.
No, Chad, I'm saying that nade bounced improperly, but when I played Sova and it would just bounce, the arrows would bounce randomly like that nade did, it would piss me the fuck off.
It really always on bind too.
Yeah, it's a lot on bind. It's a lot of just like fucking pixels that just shoots them up. Some Haven too, but not as bad.
Just in the nick of time to allow Asuna forward positioning, takes down Daze. This could be going very badly all of a sudden here for T1. They were looking so damn good. And there's that Hunter's Fury on Hiko as well. He's standing in the hookah position. There's the paranoia to allow the entries to start flowing through for T1. Brax opens it up nicely. Nitro, though, defending from the cubby by Garden. And now it's up to the...
Is this iteration of T1 newer than 100 Thieves is?
Too many players at this point. There's too much time on the bomb. And so Hiko will just try to get that opening kill first.
Daze joined like pretty close at the same time, I think.
Got announced or joined?
Hold on, that looks very scary though.
Oh, yeah, he was screaming with them for a while. I don't actually know.
But he does not.
I don't think so. I think T1 is a little bit older, but only by a little bit.
Yeah, they're pretty even.
Yeah, they are pretty even.
I think it's the smart play to carry that into the next round. And you could see he actually took a step back to think about it for a second when he was in hookah. And he thought otherwise. So I'm fully with him not using the ultimate right there. And here's Scott going for that op pick showers again. First gun round of the match.
Oh, they played out the same way.
I don't think Nitro meant to do that.
Nitro's peak wasn't as good.
I think he fucked up his...
Yeah, he fucked
up his strafe, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's a nice shot there by Scott, but he should know that they could peek him out of shower. I mean, this is very unfortunate for AZK to not get a call there. I mean, he should know that they already double push shower, and it's possible he could be flanked from.
He probably knew, but when you're in that spot, they could be short and they could be sight. You gamble on which one you think has the soonest, like, who's going to peek you first.
I mean, why doesn't he push back to sight, though?
Because so like, if they have any chance of winning that round, right here, the only way they have of winning this round, if you look at the map, where is it? If you look at this map right here, with Daze getting the kill and then getting traded by Steel, there's 2 people in CT. It's a 4v4, unless the fucking UI is broken.
No, it's 3v3 right now. Right now, it's 3v3.
Can't see it, so pixelated. So 3v3.
Yeah.
Either way, they have similar numbers, right? But if he stalls his life out in U-Haul for as long as possible, that means when the rotators comes into CT, they can actually go out backside because no one will be posted backside fighting for CT if he's still alive in U-Haul.
But he knows Steel just killed 2 from shower. That means the whole site is wide open. He can't just be visioning towards short.
No, he has to. I mean, he has to try to stay alive and stall his life out as long as possible. He just should have done it in a different way. Like when he hears the satchel, he should push up short, steal his shower. He knows that, so steal shower, and then Raze could have satcheled and still pushed that side of U-Haul, but he should be pushing out towards short and just try to get a kill.
He needs to push short or back to site because once he loses U-Haul, the game is
no
over.
Back to site is a disadvantage because he should.
If he gets a trade though, if he trades 1-for-1, it's fine.
Even then, it's definitely better than not getting a kill. He just needs to stall his life and get one kill.
Over the top of the APC.
But then, he should have taken a different angle, a deeper angle. It bunkered down. Or pushed out short and fight the showers guy crossing. Because if he goes into the short, like, outside U-Haul corner, it's pretty good, like, opportunity.
I mean, wouldn't here Suna be satcheling? I mean, I guess he could think he's just bouncing into backside, but isn't that kind of common to bounce over truck and to come from behind at pro? I mean, I don't know. At pro play, if you would be thinking about that. But...
I think everything's common at this point.
Run it back there as U-Hawk is cleared. Brax needs to win this frag, but that cage is going to deny him completely. Spraying, trying to find that desperation bullet, but it will be the TP rotation from 100 Thieves here for that B round finish. Spider, he's got a good timing. He might be able to get in there, but just barely denied. He will heal up instead. Waiting for Brax to get into position, but they don't have much help here. Oh, Brax!
Okay, Brax.
Great read there on that.
Brax has a cam. Brax has a cam.
Gave him a chance.
I believe he just.
And honestly, they're in like that's ridiculous. Both of them, both of the ending 2 kills is ridiculous, but especially Asuna onto the Spider there. That's like he just puts the wall up, and it's not like he gets killed right away. He gets killed like a half a second after. That's super unlucky.
Yeah,
super unlucky. If he doesn't die there, I think they probably win the round.
Before we get.
Okay, I'm gonna probably actually I might not do this. We'll see if I can do tomorrow. Tomorrow's fucking wild reset, bro. I got raids, I got Mythic Plus. So I have to go now because I have to wake the puppy up and keep her awake until we go to sleep, so she'll sleep through the night.
Okay.
So we should do all the matches though. We should do EU, NA, and Korea because I'm not too much into playing Valorant right now. It's kind of boring. Ranked fucking sucks.
Hey man, you see, I solo queued to Immortal. Are you happy for me?
Did you actually?
This should, by the way, yes. Okay, only solo queue, no duo, no fucking carries, no nothing. This should show all of you people in chat and the rest of the rank system that if my 35-year-old boomer ass can solo queue to Immortal, and I'm a fucking Pepega, you've seen my aim, we played together. If I can do it, all of you fuckers can do it.
True.
There's no excuse. If my old ass can get to Immortal by myself while getting like by going like 6-13, but still winning games because I have a bigger brain, then you guys can do it.
And it's like it's just about learning how to play the situations the right way, right? In a post plant, what do you do to make sure they cannot? Like, okay, when I play ranked post plants, I swing and try to get 3 kills because I don't care about winning the round. But that's how you rank up. You just play the game the right way. You don't have to do anything crazy to rank up.
No, I can't aim for shit. That's not why I win games.
Yeah, that's true.
Dude, I just turned 35. Everything's coming to an end now.
Yeah, that's pretty fucking sad. Get another dog, dude. They'll make you feel young. All right, I'm gonna call it. I'll be on probably, maybe not tomorrow, but the other days I'll probably be on doing it, like, depending on the time. I'll just message you when I do it next time, and we can get on and watch the other ones.
Okay.
All right, peace.
Yeah, hit me up. All right, GG's.
GG's, peace. Okay, so for me, I have to wake up the puppy. It was a very short stream. I just wanted to get a stream in. I'll be streaming more. Just the days have been a little messy because my Christmas present was a puppy. And I gotta make sure she's awake right now. So when we go to bed, she'll be sleeping through the night, stuff like that. But we kind of have a routine going now. And with that routine, it'll be easier to find opportunities for me to stream. So it was a few days off. Short stream today. Tomorrow I'll be streaming WoW. And if you guys have to watch the stream sometimes listening to, you guys want to see her, I'll bring her up again. She has to wake up anyway. She's asleep. So, oh, he's super tired. But yeah, I'm gonna call the stream right here. I'm gonna play 3 minutes of ads. You guys have to watch the stream with some puppy crying on the side, or me running away to make sure she doesn't fight through another Ethernet cord. She hasn't done it yet though. Coda did, but I'm making sure she doesn't. But yeah, I'm gonna play some ads here. I'll be live tomorrow with WoW. And then for Valorant, I'm not really feeling like playing too much right now. So VOD reviews, watching all of the First Strike games is fucking perfect. I'm learning, you guys are learning, and hopefully it'll be good content. I'll make sure I get all my hours, okay? It's a black lab, yeah. She went into the bathroom. She's gonna try to drink out of the toilet, and she actually might fall in, so I have to go. See you guys tomorrow. Peace.